like that, we're back with another Unpacked presented to you by the To Be Fair Show and
the GSH podcast.
It doesn't matter how you feel.
All right, so we have another good one. This week, kind of branching off a little bit of last week's conversation. Has the left officially lost the culture war? We'll speak a little bit about what is the culture war. Where do we think the culture stands on some of these specific issues? And we'll address what has been a bit of a culture war issue over the past week, which has been the Jimmy Fallon firing. The free speech debate has really bubbled up. And we've seen some of that take its face to some HBCU campuses. But before that, we do have some guys here. The guys here. It's the three amigos right now. Hopefully A Black, he'll join us in a little bit. But I'm allowed the guys to introduce themselves. Starting to my right. G, talk to him.
What's good, everybody? It's G, host of the GSH podcast, where we focus on family, friends, finances, freedom, and our future, and forget about everything else. Check it out wherever you get your pods. Just search GSH POD. Hi.
All right. To his right, we have the host of the To Be Fair Show, a third of the To Be Fair Show, Johnny P. What's going on, brother?
What up? Glad to be back. We got another good one going on. Yeah, just looking forward to it. Let's hop in it.
All right. Really quickly, I guess I got word from my sponsors that we do have a quick commercial break brought to you by Johnny. He has a statement, a plea for the people that he wants to get off real quick. Johnny, talk to us, brother.
Oh, no, it ain't all that. It's just I think we live in a great place, and we better talk about war and political division. But I think before we get too deep into it, one important thing is that nonviolence is the way. We should try to focus on keeping this thing together, because I don't think none of us I think we take for granted a lot of things that we do have in this country, and I think it's important to realize what we have before we start criticizing what we don't. And yeah, let's all come together. Why we can't just get along? It's good to talk and discuss these things, but when it start affecting our safety and we going outside in public, it's gone too far. So yeah, let's just enjoy what we got and figure out a way to keep it pushing forward.
A non-violent plea, sovereignty through peace. Is that what we're looking at now, Johnny?
We got a long way before we get to the S word.
Okay, all right. So you say we might have to. We'll off there. G, before we hop into the topic, I see that you have some new branding going on. Talk to us, brother.
Oh yeah, man. Appreciate that. We, started as the podcast, but especially with the live stream, Unpacked and everything, and getting back to the pod, just looking at a new phase, wanted to branch out, do something a little more expansive, pause. And so just rebranded the channel, G-Axis Media, 5 F's, 1 Axis. It's where family, friends, finances, freedom, and future connect. So it's still got the same brand. You can expect the same content, but we just got a larger platform to put everything up under the brand now. So yeah, appreciate that.
All right, we like it. All right. So nonetheless, I guess it makes sense for us to start off with, as I said, probably our biggest culture war moment of this week, or the past week, which has been the Jimmy Fallon. So we'll start off with what he originally said. We'll look at a couple clips of some of his responses, and then we'll talk through what are our thoughts on it.
Gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
Yes, okay. He's at the 4th stage of grief, construction. demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish. Okay.
All right. So I guess before we run too far and I play the next clips, what was y'all initial reaction to that? Do you think that he went too far? Do you think that he disrespected Charlie Kirk? I don't know. What was y'all thoughts?
I don't think he said nothing about Charlie Kirk right there.
Yeah.
So I mean, Trump's just being kind of a little, just a little butthurt on that one because he ain't say nothing about Charlie Kirk. And personally, I thought it was pretty funny too. That's the fifth stage or whatever he said, construction. That's a good joke. That's why he do what he do. That's that's a funny joke.
That's why he get paid the big bucks. All right, G, talk to us.
Man, yeah, a huge pause, a huge overreaction because, I mean, it's just because Trump, Trump be squeezing these networks for lawsuits. And he just wanted to flex that, hey, look, not only can I make y'all pay me money, like I'm going to make y'all also like have your own censoring on your own platform. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely didn't deserve, whatever they did, the suspension or whatever you call what they did, took him off the air. It was unprecedented. It was crazy.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna play the next two clips. These are from yesterday when he returned. They're at 1.5. Y'all need me to slow it down, let me know. But just so we can kind of get through it with a little speed.
To say it's going to make much of a difference. If you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human. And that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I posted a message on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion. And I meant it. And I still do. If you're just joining us, we are preempting your regularly scheduled encore episode of...
All right, Johnny told me to slow it down a little.
I think you can hear more of the message. I think he got a little emotional there.
Yeah, family feud to bring you this human, and that is going to make much of a difference. If you like me.
Can't zoom through the tears.
I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind, but I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. That's
funny. That is funny.
Bro, these fucking Hollywood ass niggas, man, boy. They like, let me get my mind. He was working on that one.
Still do. If you're just joining us, we are preempting your regularly scheduled encore episode of Celebrity Family Feud to bring you this special report. I'm happy to be here tonight with you. I'm not sure who had a weirder 48 hours, me or the CEO of Tylenol. Some that I do especially want to mention are my fellow late night talk show hosts, my friend Stephen Colbert, who's found himself in this predicament, my friends Jon Stewart, Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon, John Oliver. This is a giant company. We have short attention spans, and I am a tiny part of the Disney Corporation. They welcomed me back on the air, and I thank them for that. The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he
let me
can't take a joke.
And let me make sure that this is pretty much.
That backfired bigly. I feel sorry for him. He did his best to cancel me. Instead, he forced millions of people to watch the show. That backfired bigly. He might have to release the Epstein files to distract us from this now. The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke. He was somehow able to squeeze Colbert out of CBS. Then he turned his sights on me, and now he's openly rooting for NBC to fire Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers and the hundreds of Americans who work for their shows who don't make millions of dollars. And I hope that if that happens, or if there's even any hint of that happening, you will be 10 times as loud as you were this week. We have to speak out against it.
All right.
He got choked up and snapped right back to it, man.
Yeah, he did. But really quickly, before we go any further, Donald, he gonna respond. So Donald with the clap back. I think that they'll read off a little bit of what he said, but yeah.
Well, Errol, one other thing that really stuck out to me in the president's Truth Social post was that he said that ABC told the White House that Kimmel's show was canceled. But remember, when it was suspended indefinitely, the White House and administration officials insisted that, hey, this had nothing to do with us. We were not trying to.
I just want to read this part. In my opinion, this is kind of wild. He said, I can't believe ABC. Fake news gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. I think we're going to test ABC out of this. Out on this one. Let's see how we do. Last time I went at them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. This is the president of the United States making this statement.
Bro, Trump is really a Gotham City villain, bro. He really is. Like, he's like a rich Gotham City villain, for real.
All right.
In his bag.
All right. So, yeah, nonetheless, fellas, we're caught up on the happenings of the past, I guess, past week as it pertains to Jimmy Fallon, as it pertains to the whole free speech conversation that we're having right now. What are y'all thoughts? Jimmy Fallon, his response, and then we'll lead into what Trump said.
I mean, the Jimmy Fallon thing
Kimmel
didn't even.
Yeah, Kimmel.
I mean, yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, whatever. This white boys joint is just way overblown, and honestly, the reaction to cancel it made it even worse. Like Jimmy Kimmel pointed out, like it just drew more attention to something that really wasn't gonna be that big of a deal at the end of the day. Like it could have just kind of came and went with just like everything else right now that's going viral on the internet. But the fact that ABC stepped in and did what they did, and it's like the timing of like paying the 16 million, like Trump said, it just brought a lot of attention to it and everything. So, shame on ABC. They just strategically terrible execution.
Johnny?
Yeah, I think it makes Trump look kind of bad. I think it makes him. ABC looks bad too, but as far as just the freedom of speech and trying to stand, it makes him look weak. It makes him look like he got thin skin, and I think it's going to. I think this backfired on him greatly, and I think moving forward, that play that he's trying to do, I think the broadcasting companies are going to be a little more emboldened because I think they kind of stood. They backed down a little bit, but they still brought them back, and I think that's good for freedom of speech.
Okay, welcome to the show. We have back here. What's going on, brother? What is your thoughts?
Yo, what's up, fellas? So sorry, I don't know what's up with my camera. But yeah, man, I don't even think he was really suspended. Like he was off a couple of days, but I mean I can't even count that as a real suspension. I feel like white people, and Jimmy is still white to me. I know they go back and forth with being Jewish when they want to, but I feel like they just having a battle of victimhood. Like they want to be victims so bad and oppressed so bad, and whether it's Jimmy, whether it's Trump, and what this whole Charlie Kirk has done is kind of pitting these different classes of white people against each other right now, and they kind of imploding. But I mean, Jimmy show wasn't off long. Like wasn't no real. Like they just everybody want to be MLK, but there wasn't no real suspension. Like if anything, far as we know that was a break that was already in the damn programming. I just feel like everybody's just kind of running with the ratings and the marketing of it all. Of like, oh yeah, Jimmy, the anti-Trump, and so it's like it's gonna boost our ratings. So when we drop back on Tuesday, everybody's gonna tune in to see. Like it's a ratings game at the end of the day. I think it was suspended, but like the office wasn't even cleaned out. Like, come on.
Didn't even have a box in there.
Yeah, he went home for a weekend and back on Tuesday. Like, come on.
Gotcha. It's an echo. All right, there we go. Well, maybe it's. Hold on. Okay. All right. So I guess building the conversation, there has been a lot of talk about what the FCC chairman, the head of FCC, went online to kind of talk about right after, maybe it was the day after, pretty much where he said that y'all, like, you're gonna have to get in line with your messaging or we got some work coming down the pipeline with the FCC as it comes down to accreditation, or whatever the word for FCC's accreditation when it comes down to these stations. This is then followed up with what y'all seen today with Trump speaking about, well, we're gonna put this to the limit. Let's see if I sue them, exactly what happens. Last time it was 16 million. This next time, it seems like it'll be a lot more lucrative. Do y'all think that this is kind of like a red flag as it does pertain to free speech, where you have the FCC, the people that kind of like regulate a lot of our airwaves, and then Trump, both working in concert when it comes down to silencing speech that goes against him? What are your thoughts?
It's a terrible precedent for sure. Like, you know, it's interesting to see how things are playing out. Like Gavin Newsom was on a thing talking about how now is the time, code red, but you know, the hyperbole is also kind of like, I know they're gearing up for a presidential election. People are trying to put themselves in position to be like the top front runners, so they're going to take advantage of any opportunity they can to, you know, make themselves seem like I'm the one that's going to take down Trump. But I do think there is some credence to some of the narratives out there as it relates to how he's overstepping some executive boundaries for sure. So what it means long term, I'm not quite so sure, but you know, it's definitely Trump trying to abuse his power as much as possible.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's just and I don't even know if it's gonna work long term, but I think it's definitely him trying to, use his, go beyond his authority. And I think it does set a bad precedent, because I don't know if I can talk about cancel culture right here, because I know we're probably gonna get to that a little later on. But it's one thing to, do something off public opinion, kind of like what ABC did, but then to like use a government authority, I think that, opens up a can of worms. And when the next president gets in there, he's gonna do that, and then we'll just have this cycle of just bad news and very biased. It'd be a biased cycle that I think could just continue. So something like that should definitely be, non what's the word, partisan. And you got to hold up the Constitution. That's why they wrote that thing. You can't just make it do what make it do what you want it to do whenever you feel like it. So I think it's a bad precedent if you start getting government agencies involved.
Gotcha. A Black, talk to us.
Yeah, man. I saw somebody saying Disney faced backlash, and that's why he back. Like, man, Disney Teflon, man. Like I said, all this shit is just Disney's not going nowhere. They got the kids at the end of the day. Kids ain't canceling nobody, and parents gonna do whatever they want for their kids to shut them up. So it's like Trump and Jenny is old white, blue blood white versus Jewish. It's not about them. It's about what they both represent. The Jewish power in media and Trump's governmental power of like who got control. And for a long time, a lot of media moguls have swayed a lot of government influence. You got Robert Murdoch and these different people that have had their fingers in a lot of things throughout the generation. Trump's whole regime.
Hey, Black, is something happening with your audio?
Oh, can you hear me now?
It's still doing it's like almost like a vibrating thing. It's like it's breaking up while you're talking.
Okay, I'm gonna switch devices. Give me a second.
Okay. All right. While you do that, I'm gonna play this Tennessee State clip that has went viral over this week. You had a couple of Charlie Kirk supporters. You've had a couple of, I guess what you would say, MAGA supporters that showed up on what they're calling an HBCU tour that they're doing. I forget what they named, and I'm sure one of these guys will kind of explain it. But I'll push play, and y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are on this.
Our HBCU. On over here.
You called the East primitive, but what? We created y'all knowledge. We created y'all science. We created y'all math. Y'all didn't do shit besides steal. Y'all didn't do anything to your. You guys didn't make shit. You guys touch children. You guys fuck.
Showing them the door.
We walking them to the door, y'all. I don't even know how they got on campus. We gonna figure that out, but I don't know. They need to get like a trespass, like penalty or something because
Sending them off.
Tell him it's that boy. He thought he was gonna come up like Charlie.
Yes. Yes. Say good job, TSU.
Good job. Shout out to my school.
And here's another clip.
The fearless debaters showed up unannounced at an HBCU in Tennessee, and it went as you can expect. Now, TSU was reportedly their first HBCU stop on what they called a fearless tour, inspired by Charlie Kirk. TSU said the group was unaffiliated with the university and was not authorized to be there. And of course, campus police escorted them off without any incident, while students booed and followed them to their car, with the group even claiming that some students stole their stuff and attacked their car, all while shouting Black Power, and even so expressing themselves in quite an angry manner, which is now being used online as some kind of racist or groper type of video. It's disgusting. And what these so-called fearless debaters are just part of a broader trend on groups touring campuses to create viral confrontations, which I would say aren't genuine debates, just performance arts designed to generate outrage and social media content. This move wasn't about debating, it was about creating some kind of controversial moment, which, in the end, some of them and their racist friends kind of got.
All right.
Listen, I just watched a little video with the two little motherfucking white boys with the motherfucking red hats on and all this going on Tennessee State campus. This the only question I got for y'all. Why is y'all always fucking with us? We ain't fucking with y'all, man. Leave us the fuck alone. Leave us the fuck alone. Y'all always come fucking with us for no motherfucking apparent reason. None. I'm not going over there fucking with the motherfucking Ku Klux Klan. I ain't going over there right now with a motherfucking Black Panther hat on and telling the motherfucking Ku Klux Klan, let's talk. I don't want to talk to the motherfucking Ku Klux Klan. Y'all always come fucking with us, man. Leave us the fuck alone. And then as soon as some motherfucking have, you the motherfucking victim. Yeah, it's motherfucking America. Yeah, you got the right to go wherever you want to motherfucking go. But why is you forcing your motherfucking self on us? We don't want to motherfucking talk to you, man. If we did, we'll come motherfucking find you. So motherfucking sick of y'all. Always come fucking with some motherfucking body. Take your ass to the motherfucking University of Wisconsin. Go talk to them. Go to motherfucking University of Idaho some motherfucking well. Motherfucking premeditated, coming somewhere just to start motherfucking chaos. Just so you can act like a motherfucking victim.
All right, I got one last one.
I don't think it's playing.
Oh, it's not. Oh, my bad. All right, never mind. Well, we can move into the conversation. What is y'all initial reactions? I guess I'll throw to A Black. You were finishing up what you were saying as well. If you want to finish that, it's up to you. But yeah.
I just come into this. I mean, shit. Plies took the words right out of my mouth. I'm just like I wouldn't even be angry. I wouldn't want to give them no reaction at all because obviously that's what they're there for. But like, why? And then it's also dangerous times to be walking around white. You got a book bag on. Like, what are you doing on a college campus? It's like that's just safety. But I hope people see this and don't like, let them incite them or let them like try to get a moment. Call campus police, call security. Escort them out, go about your day. Like, we be chilling. Like, niggas is playing football, basketball, trying to talk to girls, stepping, playing with fans. Like, nobody are sitting on college campus wanting to fuck with white people. Like, they're not plotting to fuck with white people at all. So, like, why? What are you doing on HBCU? Like, we didn't do nothing. We didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Like, we don't be doing nothing. We be fucking with ourselves. We got our own issues. Like, we don't be fucking with y'all. Like, what are you doing? Fuck with black people. I don't get them, man. But Hey, like I said, that's what I was saying earlier. They want to be victims so bad that they're literally seeking out oppression. You know, it's
I
like
think
going into the lion's den and then saying lions is dangerous. See, I told you they dangerous, but nigga, what are you doing in their house?
Hmm.
in the jungle.
So I'm gonna play this last one. This was the one I was looking.
Calling HBCUs the jungle?
He
I
said
didn't say that.
lions.
I didn't say that.
He said lions.
This is from their POV right here.
Yeah, they threw a drink up top.
Oh my gosh, they threw a drink up top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Did somebody just throw something in our car?
They just tried to hit the car.
Arrest. That's the
Right,
white boys I know.
arrest.
Arrest.
Whoa.
But that's...
That was loud.
Arrest.
All right. Just like I said, wanted to give more context to it. That was their POV. Sound like Johnny, was you about to hop in?
Yeah, nah. I mean, we just sat up here a couple weeks ago and argued about like, snitching, no snitching. But I think this is a great point to like. This is where you got to play their game with them. Like, what the president of the university, head of security, they should have had them arrested. They should have had them charged with trespassing, having unauthorized event, inciting riot. There's a lot of things that you could have did that would actually like affect them in the way that they're going to.
But that wouldn't have
Kicking
been
them off
positive.
campus leaves them with no consequences, and it gave them content. If they leave with charges, if they live with some charges, unauthorized trespassing, you think they're gonna go to the next HBCU and try that?
But
they not, and they're not gonna get that content. It's gonna change the narrative, and I think we got to play. You fight fire with fire. You got to play that game with them people, getting mad and all that. They just gonna take videos and say the things they're saying right now. But if you get them arrested, escorted, give them some charges to leave with.
But there was no charges to give. Pause. Like
that's trespassing. They had an unauthorized event.
Tennessee State
found a way to
is a state funded school. That's like saying you gonna charge me for walking around UNC Chapel Hill.
They can't they can't make up a charge. There's plenty of charges.
They can
that
ask
you
you to leave the campus.
There's plenty of stuff. Like I'm saying, if you want to arrest somebody,
you can't trespass on a state funded school. Like
you can't have an unauthorized.
I'm here during regular business hours. I can be here.
If they say you're a suspicious person,
there's a lot of ways.
But what I'm saying is,
got them with something. You could have got them with something.
If they press charges, it's going to be even a worse negative response in terms of how it's going to make them even like these activists now who got arrested. That wouldn't be a positive. That wouldn't be the way to move.
The university should have pressed charges on them for coming onto the campus.
But it would have been. I'm saying that's a bad move. That's a bad move.
What would they be pressing charges on them for?
I'm sure there's some kind of law against having an unauthorized, like with not having a permit, having an event. Especially
they didn't have an event.
It was just like they set up a table and said.
They just said that. I don't know, but I'm saying they would have found a way to put a black person in jail, and I think that's all I'm saying. They would have found a way to do something and find us criminal, and something like that should be met with the same kind of consequence, even if it's a civil lawsuit. There's ways that you can play the same type of game that they play, and I think that's the only way they would, respond.
For trespassing in the daytime.
I don't know the
campus.
laws of Tennessee. I don't know the exact thing like that, but there could be some legal action taken against these guys. That's all I'm saying. Legal action.
Johnny said, "Make something up." I like that one. That was my favorite quote from Johnny. G, talk to us. Are you for Tennessee State canceling these white guys and their freedom of speech?
And
get Charlie Kirk points off.
In my ideal world, one is like clear rage baiting by these white boys because the most charged up like thinkers are young 18 to 22-year-olds on a HBCU campus. Like this is when this is when I started learning about shapeshifters, started learning about who manufacture A's. Like you start getting exposed to all these kind of different theories in life. You start questioning how you was raised. Like you really charged up around this time period. And they specifically went to a HBCU in the state of Tennessee to rage bait this audience. That is foul on them. However, what would have been beautiful is if they just ignored them as if they didn't exist. that would have been the most beautiful response to the whole thing. Like, we don't even see you. You can say what you want, do what you want. We don't give a fuck about what you talking about. I'm going. It's Fried Chicken Wednesday. I'm about to get mine. I'm going to the calf and I'm going back to the room. Like, I'm not even sweating white boys. That to me would have been the most beautiful thing.
So G, what happens if you're walking to Fried Chicken Wednesday and he say just like a black person? How do you respond to that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, nigga. We like
Yeah, nigga. Yes, we had an HBCU, nigga. You are correct. Yes. Like, what are you talking about? That's why we got Fried Chicken Wednesday, nigga. You are correct. Like, what else?
We gotta stop giving them the privilege of being offended by shit.
It's
Like, I like fried chicken, yes, nigga. I like watermelon. Okay, that's all you got. Like,
but it's like I also get like these kids, man. Like, you know, they are social media babies. If you're 18 to 22, you grew up like with social media at the forefront. So when we talk about how social media is impacting the mindset and the temperature, you notice like all these killers, these are younger folks. These are younger white boys who grew up in the social media age. They clearly don't have any type of emotional regulation. And, you know, I'm not, you know, look, I know our community, YN's definitely struggling out here with emotional regulation. And it's like, you really tried to go there thinking that you was going to get some, like, you know, you went to a HBCU because you, it's like you strategically tried to go somewhere with some quote unquote YNs, but with some ones who had something to lose, versus he could have went somewhere else in Tennessee in a neighborhood and set up that table, and security there would have been no security to protect or escort him out. That ass would have been on fire. So it's like they knew exactly what they were doing and why they were doing it. I just wish that they would have got ignored.
Got you. So I guess let me ask y'all this. Is this an example of showing us that we might actually be for cancel culture? I'll throw that to you, Johnny, first. It sounded like you wanted them arrested, thrown in jail. You wanted like laws to be made up for them for coming to, in their opinion, to express their freedom of speech at a public place.
I said there's events that block traffic or building entrances without proper permits are generally legal and can result in arrest. Trespassing, they said that is usually generally harder at a state school versus private school. But what I'm saying, there are ways around even refusal to disperse can lead to arrest. There are several different ways.
Suspicious person is enough. I'm telling you, like, you look suspicious in an area where people don't know you.
So
That's enough.
there are grounds for legal action against these type of behaviors if they're going to disturb, especially black spaces of education. If you frame it like that, there's way more grounds for legal action to something like them coming onto our campuses and having, or you know, on black campuses and having disrupting, you know, kind of events.
Like, you know, HBCUs have white students, right? Like, 2 white students could have went out there and did the same thing, as an example, and nobody would be able to push them off their own campus, setting up a table.
If they didn't have the right permits, they could have.
It's not no permits. Like, yo, like, nigga, they not downtown. They not blocking Main Street. Like, they not even.
No white student knows better than an HBCU white student to not do no shit like that.
I agree.
They could be the ones out there fighting him first.
I ain't seen them out there.
They don't play about us.
Where's your permit, buddy?
They must have been commuting. That
hey,
day.
buddy, you have a permit?
But Johnny, so is this an example of showing how you are actually for cancel culture?
Maybe. I don't know if that's cancel culture, but like, yeah, it may be.
And you're saying that you don't want them to be able to voice their free speech in a public setting because it, you know, it's to your displeasure or what you feel should be inside the, you know, wherever they're at that quote unquote arena that they was at. And because of that, you would like to see them in jail, a law made up for them.
It's not about what they're saying. I don't think it's necessarily about
I guess I would ask you, though, in moving and making that then like a flat precedent, isn't that fairly dangerous?
I'm not necessarily saying that they can't say the things or the messaging that they're saying. I think certain spaces, especially without permits or authorization, things that are disruptive, I think there are laws against things that cause disruption to the public. You know what they call it, a nuisance. There's like laws against that protect the public.
But the issue would have been
best interest of the public.
if they wouldn't have eventually left, but they just came and sat down. It seemed like
It was like a lot of videos.
Like
where it
Johnny,
seemed
but
like
the thing
they
is,
like
with
I don't know how long it took them to leave, but I mean,
this is the thing. The president is the president, and because a white dude got on a red hat saying "Make America Great Again" doesn't give you license to then like verbally assault or go crazy because a nigga got a red hat on. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't, just because you have a crazy reaction doesn't mean I did something that legally warrants such a crazy reaction. At the end of the day, they got a hat on supporting the president. Like that's what it is. And I'm not saying that they have to agree with the hat, but like they should have the ability to wear that hat and not get bothered, if you will. Like they should, like you should be able to wear what you want and not have to worry about like a white dude smacking you upside the head because he don't like
but
the
we
Black
also
Panthers
said freedom
or
of
Malcolm
speech
X.
also has like there's not freedom of consequences. So I think like if you go
So if a
into
nigga
space,
walk around with an X hat on, he deserves to get smacked up if he walk into like a.
I'm saying like if you wear a Steelers jersey to the Packers home game and they start talking shit, like that should be expected. Like they shouldn't touch you, but it should be expected that you're gonna be antagonized in that space. There are certain consequences to the things you do. You should be able to do it, but like if people don't like it, like if people don't like it, like I think
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what I'm not promoting that personally. Like, so when somebody so you go out in public, somebody don't like your outfit, that means you deserve to be like subject to ridicule just by people out in public and shit. Like you support that?
No, not my outfit in public, but if I go into a space specifically for like, I mean, like he was in Walmart with the shit and this went down. He went to a space specifically where he knew he would get the reaction. He did the thing, got the reaction. Like we know the game. It was a game. Like and like I think that there
He
should
rage
be
baited. I'm agree here. He rage baited.
and there's laws against doing stuff like that, and like especially in public.
Charlie
Pranks
Kirk
aren't
rage baited
like,
with an
I
organized
remember
platform.
There were some boys
like,
that did a prank in my high school. They got arrested for the prank. It was a prank.
What was the full prank though?
It was a prank. They brought a pig somewhere and pig
It's not like it was a reason. It's not really clear.
They probably stole the pig from a farm or some shit.
I guess
a big fake pig.
Like a quick POV in there. I do think that SG said that a lot of this was rage bait and was clearly for internet clicks. But I think that there's also a space that an overreaction is probably something that is also planned for that they can use as well. Where if this precedent is set, what does that look like for Black activists on white campuses in white public spaces? And that would be the issue that I would have inside any of like the free speech conversations and like these little nudges that happen on either side. I think that for like, because in my opinion, I think that Black people, we do tend to be quote unquote activists often and go out in the streets, we'll march, we do all these things. But if we allow certain precedents to be set and accepted, then it will be interesting to see how quickly they throw it back.
It's going backfire. Pause.
But don't we also get arrested and get like kicked off of places and the same thing? Like there's
we don't go protest.
Aren't
at
there
these
consequences
like that?
a lot of times, and like for these actions too? A lot of times, like just protest.
Like if you start breaking shit or something like that, or refusing to leave, but
that's key too. Refusing to leave. They left when they said leave.
Used to have mad like protests during like that whole little statue era when my sister was there. Like people would march and do all that shit. During the BLM thing until they started breaking windows, they was letting niggas march up and down the street.
Refusing to leave is key because I don't think they was on that campus for more than 15 minutes with the content they got. They couldn't have been there that long.
Hey, they leave fast enough. Like
I think they said it was pretty much 15 minutes.
Like you know, now I think the conversation changes if they're like, nah, plant the flag down. We're not going anywhere. We deserve the right to be here. Like then at that point, I would have loved to see campus police put them in handcuffs and then like give them an appropriate, face in the ground type slam. You know what I'm saying?
And as well, I think something else that like inciting violence and like insults also matter inside this as well. Like if they were doing like those two things, I think that also is its own different thing.
And them not being students on that campus probably goes a long way in that too.
But I think what you were saying, it's a public campus.
That's why they asked them to leave. And that's why it's like, as long as you leave, we don't have any issues. But like now that we've asked you to leave, once you now start not obliging. Now it's like you breaking a rule. Like we asked you to leave per policy, you didn't leave per policy. Now we got jurisdiction as campus police to do X and Y and Z. So, you know,
I think they could have, just like the law goes against us a lot of times. I think you can take advantage of this spaces that we run and that we own to put the law in our advantage sometimes. Where like there's been times where like black people, the law has been unfair to us, and I think I think it's just you have to fight fire with fire, and I think that's the only way some people.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that philosophy.
Fight fire with fire. Lock their ass up, bro.
Hey, Black, talk to us.
Yeah, man. I feel like I don't think it's cancellation per se. I mean, you got to have something to be canceled, and I just think it's like holding them accountable, like they would do us. Like it's free speech and enrollment, and then it's like purposely disturbing the peace and inciting violence and like all the things that they say that they would say that we were doing in a situation like that if it was reversed. That's all. Like nobody's saying put them in jail for life or and nothing like that, but they need to be locked up. They like for disturbing the peace or something.
Wow.
So I asking you, I guess
that's crazy.
What's a really conservative campus? Would you say South Carolina is a conservative campus, Johnny?
Nah, Clemson's more.
Clemson. All right. So do you think that the same should apply if BLM protesters went and put up a table and said, "Convince me that like slaves weren't indentured servants," and he just sat there?
I mean,
should they
me
thrown? Well, I was asking not Johnny, A Black.
You gotta have permission on these campuses to do certain things. So if you have been able to set up a table or something and the campus give you permission, then cool. But if you're doing it like on some guerrilla shit and you're not supposed to be there and then you're asked to leave because it's inciting people, then you should have to leave, But like,
but then you should get arrested if you leave.
No, you should get arrested if you resist.
Okay,
yeah, I think that's fair.
All right, yeah.
Now, if you walking out, like that's the only video I've seen with him. He's like he walking away, and they turned up or whatever. But if you're resisting, are you saying I'm not leaving? Are you doing some shit like that? Then yeah, you can get arrested for disturbing the peace. You inciting a riot. Like they've said we've incited riots for less. So yeah, like but cancellation, like I say, it ain't condemning or anything, but if I go into a white space doing some super black shit, I'm going to aggravate some people. Like,
damn, that's just life, though, ain't it?
That ain't life. You don't just go to a all white space and be in there screaming Black Power and let's talk about slavery.
Were they screaming white power? Like, what were they screaming exactly? That's I guess what I'm saying.
I think their prompt was something about DEI and immigration. I'll look it up. Let me.
Now look, if you go on an HBCU campus and you on some like blatant white nationalist, white power, and that is arguably like a hate crime, arguably.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I don't think this is what took place. This is what I'm saying. Like they very strategically teetered a line of like, let's be very clearly race baiting, rage baiting. While at the same time, let's not make it racial, quote unquote.
I think that is a disturbance of the peace. Like I think like if some black people showed up that weren't students at a campus to Clemson or some small school somewhere, Wofford, and they didn't have a permit, especially a smaller school. Let's say Wofford. You don't have a permit. You come in there and set up tables.
Tennessee State ain't a big school, brother.
You say what?
Tennessee State not a big school.
That's why I said Wofford. Wofford's probably more comparable than Clemson. But Wofford's a smaller school. But there would be consequences. Like whether it's a ticket, whether like you might get asked to leave, and that'd be the best case scenario. But like worst case scenario, like it's a chance you'd get arrested if you did that. Best case scenario would be you walking out and just, can you please leave? But like if you did, there's a chance you get a ticket, or there's a chance that you get arrested.
These were their prompts. DEI should be illegal and deport all the illegals now.
Yeah, get off our campus, bro. Like, what?
Lock his ass up, A Black.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
Lock him up.
Lock him up.
I'm like, why
lock him up?
why you here talking about that? Like this ain't your target audience. Like you clearly trying to create some shit. We not making on immigration laws. We not making on immigration fuss. We not in the immigration conversation for real, for real. Like if you care so much about that, go to the powers that be. Why you at a fucking HBCU? Like that makes no sense at all. Other than you want to rage bait like G said and cause some shit. Which to me,
What if a FBA went there with a anti-tether sign? Would that be the same sort of like energy, or would you let them live on campus?
I would let them live. I would let them. I would let them live. I would let them live because as
Where's that
irritating
when
as,
it said you paying goofies?
yeah, as irritating as some of them can be, not all FBAs, but some, it's like they still are part of our conversation of our black identity. So it would make sense more so to see a FBA insider at a HBCU versus like a white supremacist insider there, you know, because that's essentially the difference to me. Like, and you should have intellectual dialogue and stuff like that on college campuses. I think so, but I don't think when it comes to MAGA, like you also got to know who's even open or tolerant to your ideas, and like they don't want to hear that shit because what that hat represents to us and to them right now is like, nah, you already coming incorrect to have a calm discourse. So as soon as you put that hat on, it's a wrap. You know, this ain't the space for that.
All right. I guess I'll kind of try and merge the two conversations and ask this: what is more dangerous? The rights want to control. I think the rights want to control the media outlet and the news, or the lefts want to police speech. Which one is more dangerous right now? What is your thoughts, fellas?
You said the right controlling. Say it again.
So like if you merge the two conversations with Trump and the FCC and the whole being upset that they're making jokes about him and possibly hinting that the killer could have been on the right. They want to kind of like his whole fake news suing thing. They want in general to control the news and what media outlets put, or the cancel culture that has painted maybe the last 8 to 10 years, where speech becomes policed. You got to walk on eggshells about if you're like saying the right pronouns or like in any of these things. What is your thoughts?
Oh, I think there's a big difference between, and sometimes the left does this too, but when it becomes like law and you're messing with government, I think that's a way dangerous precedent than like if you just get a group of people over here that want to like boycott something or cancel something. I think public, getting public opinion and public approval, like that's a positive thing in democracy. If there's a lot of people that don't like something, they should have the ability to not buy that product or not consume or not use that service. That's totally different than really blocking and making it law to have to do something just because you don't necessarily like it. And we're in capitalism. If you got a product and enough people stop buying it, the capitalist part of America is going to make adjustments accordingly. And I think that's the whole basis on cancel culture. It's like if you can affect the bottom line, then you can then get change versus going to the government agency and just be like, nah, don't say that. I think that one is way more dangerous.
G, talk to
it. I think the most dangerous one is because it's the president. Just because it's the president, it has more power. But it's one side of a different coin. It's all at the end of the day cancel culture, controlling speech. The cancel culture on the left is about pronouns and shit like that. But just because you don't get policed on pronouns, now you're getting policed on what you can say about people in power. I'd much rather watch what I have to say as it relates to like some pronoun shit than have to worry about like what might happen if I speak truth to power. So that's the most dangerous piece of it all. If if that right as Americans is compromised, then we officially have started to see like the beginning of the end.
Got you. A Black Talker.
Yeah, I think the opposite. Like, I think the thing with the stuff with the president right now is mostly, if not all, ego based, and oh, you mean to me, I got to get you tight. I think that'll pass. I think what the left has been doing has been going on for a few years of them kind of normalize certain agendas, certain languages, certain um, ways we are perceiving this culture in general, with the pronouns, with the with the trans, with the gay marriage, all of these things, and now how you speak to people has all been kind of the left agenda that I feel like is already kind of in place and been going on for a while. And I think the shit that Trump is doing and the Republicans is like on some page, like, oh, this is what y'all do, so we go do it. It's as dangerous as what the left is already got in place right now. I think the Trump shit will pass. And I, he's gone. A lot of that stuff won't stick. But I think what the left has been doing for a few years is sticking, and is a lot of stuff is kind of starting to be normal through the agendas that they're pushing.
Okay.
And also, I think, like, I mean, there's some merit to the left. I mean, even as black people, there's certain things like, as far as like, white, you can't come on, TV and say the N word. You can't hard R on national TV, anymore. You'll get, that's kind of based on the principles of cancel culture. So there are some positives that have like kind of helped us out as far as like, there's a reason why like a lot of the.
I don't know,
I didn't know
Johnny.
that. I'm learning that you are like a fairly like pro cancel culture guy, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a
I'm
new.
not saying not necessarily. It's not a cancel culture thing, but I think if the people, like, I'm for like, majority like wins a lot of time. Like if it's a vote, I think, people.
So
people,
we're saying people being openly racist is a form of cancel culture.
Well, I think before it was called cancel culture, I think that's a part of the reason why a lot of people.
But yes, I think the answer
like
to
just
that
the foundation of it.
And are you pro that or not? Are you against that?
Pro, I'm not. I'm saying I said there was some merit in cancel culture. I'm saying even as black people, that's one of the things where it helped us. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying there's times where it goes, too far that we don't necessarily agree with it, but it's still not as dangerous as getting into the government. I was just, saying one time where it helped us out.
All right. So nonetheless, as we walk down the free speech conversation a little bit and make our way into the culture war, so just staying at the free speech part of it, does there come a point where we should pay more attention to the echo chambers and what they're starting to create? I think one of y'all just made a point about how the majority of these mass shooters that have arrived previously in the past few years have been products of the internet culture. They've been young, they've been inside discourse, they've been in 4chan, they've been in all of these different spaces that tend to fumigate, quote unquote, hate, whether it's on the right or on the left. What is your thoughts? Do you think that we should pay more attention to these echo chambers and what they're starting to create?
I think so. I think we definitely gotta pay attention to what's going on with the echo chambers, but it's like, what control do you have over the internet for real? It's like it's gone crazy. It's like all the gaming community has chat rooms. It's just like so many different ways to like find communities of people and get influenced in certain ways. So it's like, it's just a shame that like too many people are detached from reality, in my opinion, where they live their lives and they get their fulfillment based off of these online environments. So I think that's just something to watch, but at the same time, honestly, I don't know watching a slow death, if you will. I don't even know why it needs to be watched, more so than just making sure you don't fall victim to the same traps, because it's so easy to get lost in the algorithms.
So are you saying that we should pay attention, or you were saying that we should?
I think we got to pay attention, but we can't get. It's like the challenge of paying attention is they'll rage bait. The algorithm will rage bait you into a wormhole or some shit where it's like, if you're not like mentally, emotionally strong enough to understand that you're getting fed things, you could easily be influenced. And especially when you talk about fake news, misinformation, deep fakes, all this stuff out here, even the best of us can get got with fake news, fake information, thinking something's real when it's not. So that's why you at least got to be aware of what's going on in these rooms, because a lot of misinformation is being spread and is the foundation for a lot of this stuff. But at the same time, it's like I said, you don't want to immerse yourself in it either, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Johnny, talk to us.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these internet chat rooms and stuff, they've always existed out there, like this 4chan and stuff. I think, they're coming to the forefront. I don't know if they're necessarily getting bigger, but I mean, I've had like, cousins and stuff and friends that have been like, kind of lost in the sauce when it comes to like that dark or deep. I don't know which one you're supposed to call it, but like in some of them, rooms and stuff. So this space has always existed. I think it's important to pay attention to it too, because
Has it always been producing the outcomes that we're seeing now, where the majority of the mass shooters, the school shooters, the Charlie Kirk guy, how far they all like their main commonality in through line isn't even necessarily political affiliation as much as it is their engagement in these echo chamber spaces.
But I'm saying, how long you want to go back? Because I mean, we could even go back as far as like Columbine and like see a lot of this stuff. I mean, that's 20 plus years ago, maybe even longer. I don't know when exactly Columbine was, but even like some of those guys. And I think that's really the start of this new modern age with this thing, because that's when
Hey Johnny, fill me in really quickly. So Columbine, they were inside like what, chat rooms or something like that? Help me understand.
I think a lot of that started where they had, I don't know if it was chat rooms, but I know a lot of that dark ideology and similar space, as far as they had a separate kind of lane of thinking, maybe a radicalization.
I think they were blaming rock music for the Columbine folks at the time. They were blaming
maybe it's like
rock bands. I could be wrong though. I do remember like
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
I'd have to look at it. I thought there was like some online presence with them, and like I said, maybe I'm confusing it with somebody else. But I know this has been a thing with the online space, and that dark web has been out there for a long time. And I don't know necessarily if the rise in shootings can be attributed to that, because it's always, it's something that's.
Well, it sounds like you're saying that the rise in shootings should be attributed to it. If you're saying that that's the commonality.
So it's always been there. So I don't know if it, and maybe it's because they're getting more popular. I don't know exactly, the stats on that, but I do think it's something we should pay attention to, because I think even outside of people just being there, I think it shows like the mentality of, it's like a lot of these groups, they're marginalized groups, or there's something missing. I think it tells a lot of like the psychology of people, even when you see them talking to certain things. It's a lot of times they're missing something, or they're reaching for something, searching for something. So I think it is important to be aware of these groups, but to also know why people are like going in these echo chambers, and what what it says more about them too.
Hey, Black, talk to us.
Yeah, I missed the original question.
It is are we pretty much just branching into a free speech conversation? Does it come to a point, or has it come to a point where we should pay more attention to these echo chambers and what they're starting to produce? When you look at the through line of pretty much all of the mass shootings and school shootings, a major through line to all of them is not necessarily political affiliation, but them playing inside like these Discord servers or 4chans or like these spaces of the internet.
We see what it's doing to the Unpacked Discord.
Yeah. I mean, I say definitely, like, if you dumb enough to talk about stuff or do certain things on there that are incriminating, then lock them up. Shit, it's people that creating these little groups and doing child porn. They they gun trade. They're doing all type of stuff on there. So I much as I want privacy and stuff. I'm also not like talking about crazy shit in group chats and online because I know all of this shit is being monitored. So I mean, yeah, it if it's go you online, it ain't free. Free speech is right here where you at. But when you are going through a medium, an apparatus, it's not necessarily free no more if you don't own it. So once you put your voice on a Twitter, on a board chat, on Telegram, all these little apps people be using and stuff, and when you skip over the terms and conditions and shit, people not reading that stuff. You don't own your speech anymore. So if the police want to get a direct line into it, or the government, so be it. You gotta learn how to be darker because the web ain't no more.
Yeah. Hey, Black, just and not to cut you off, I'm gonna throw right back to you. But I will say, Tyler Robinson, I want to say his name is. A part of the police's investigation was them going through his discords and looking at the things that he had said inside there, and if there was any commonality and through line of what he speaks about inside some of these spaces. So yeah, again, just piggybacking to what you were saying to give a direct example. But yeah, keep going, brother.
Yeah, I mean, to wrap it up, yeah, and I feel like it should be in the case if you flag or trigger something, then they should have the option. Like, I don't think it should maybe just be like overall all the time monitoring. But I feel like if you trigger something or you flag something, then there should be something to where now that they can see or they can start, searching for, commonalities or patterns or, seeing what you're up to. But just watching every single conversation, I don't necessarily agree with that. But I'm also at the point like we should know better to what we say, what we type, what we put online now. Like it's gone. The data is there. Like I was asking ChatGPT random questions about myself that I hadn't put out publicly. I think I said this on another show one day, and it was freaking me out that it knew the answers. Like, so it's clearly like getting data from my text messages or my voice or something because I hadn't even put this info out, but it knew the answer. So I'm just like, okay, it's siphoning data from everything.
Hey, bro, what's one thing ChatGPT knew that you didn't expect?
Like, so before I announced my fiance or posted it, like it knew that. So I phrased the question as if I didn't know myself, and I'm like, who is
this person
Donnie Newton marrying on this date, and it said her full name, the date we get, like shit I hadn't even put nowhere publicly. It had. So I'm like siphoning data, whether through emails, through text messages, WhatsApp, I don't know. Something in the term condition that we missed, but it's getting data from other places. So
it's that WhatsApp. That's what it is.
Yeah. In one way it's cool, but like, hey, if you want to know something about somebody, you might could just chat GPT and it might know. Oh, you don't want to tell me? Let me see you this shit know.
That's actually kind of scary.
Yeah,
that's past scary for sure.
Where was my shorty at last night?
Right, her location.
And then you can train if you train
Type
your
of nigga that
AI.
Johnny is.
Johnny a wild boy, man.
But not for real. If you train your AI, your model, it might can actually give you the answer. If you've been feeding
That's
it
the
stuff,
scary
context
part.
and information, it might know where her ass at.
Johnny
Pull
gonna
up,
put a leash
boys.
on it. Tell him, Johnny. But all right. So speaking of leashes, is there pause? Is there a space where we should be putting a leash on anonymity online? Again, we're speaking now about like the dialogue that erupts out of these, like the 4chans or the discords or the Reddits and things like that, where a lot of people present behind anonymous avatars and give really inflamed opinions. Is there a case for regulating specifically anonymous spaces? Should anonymous internet dialogue be eliminated and everybody have to stand on what they say? What is your thoughts?
I feel like
this one.
I feel like niggas who get on the internet and never show their face should not be allowed. That's the so when I say this, so hold on, let me be clear.
What do you mean by that?
Let me be clear.
Don't make Steve mad.
Let me be clear.
Hey, when I think about this is actually the start of why Discord started. If y'all remember. But go ahead, G.
Let me be clear. I think niggas who get on the internet and live stream specifically, you or broadcast a show, but the whole show is just you showing everything but your face, and it's just your voice as the moderator or narrator rather of the content.
Boys is gonna come at you, John.
I think those niggas deserve, like, they don't deserve to just be on the internet talking and not putting a face to the name. That's my personal opinion. The niggas in the chat, in the comments, on Reddit, I think you can have whatever alias you want, whatever name you want, say whatever you want, like, have at it. But just me personally, if I had a code, if you're gonna be up here talking online and doing long form content, and you don't show your face, I can't even trust that you're a real person.
All right.
AI?
You know,
ain't trust
it. Shout out to the. We ain't even gonna speak to who exactly he's speaking about, this content creator. But nonetheless, it sounded like also that you were cool with the anonymity in the chats, in the discourse, and the 4chans and the Reddits, where these people can inflame incendiary behavior, but not have to actually be accountable and stand on anything that they say.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, if I
comment, makes live streamer way more important than.
I just feel like if you are just writing comments, that's not quote unquote. To me, that's just like, it's just you can easily be blocked. You can easily, like, it's just a comment. It's just like, I don't know. I just don't see it as the same. I feel like if you got a quote unquote platform and you're talking to people, but you never show your face, I just don't have respect for it.
Okay. It's a very different nuance. Specific.
It's just a personal opinion.
But yeah, Johnny, talk to us, brother.
I mean, I will say this. I think there is some credence or some, value to anonymity on some of these spaces. I mean, there's a lot of space where there's been, like the Edward Snowdens, and there's been time where these places have been actually beneficial to society in large. I've been waiting for them, one of them boys to drop the Epstein's file, but they still ain't did it yet. But I think it's some value in these spaces as far as, like, if we live in a surveillance state, there has to be, like, a way to be unsurveilled. And I think, just leading to, like, total surveillance. I think, like, in principle, in theory, I think there is some credence to, like, having an unsurveilled place in a surveillance state. I think it's just safety. But yeah, that's where I'm standing at. I've always stood there, and yeah, I think there needs to be a space where you can have that anonymity.
The space for that is not the internet no more. That's dead. It's surveilled. Like, if you're doing anything anonymous, it's probably something you're not supposed to be doing. There's really no reason to be anonymous unless you're saying something that will get a certain backlash. Maybe you're trying to hide from your job or whatever. It's no good reason to be doing.
Not necessarily, because I think historically a lot of these places have been to fight against the establishment, to fight against oppression in certain places. A lot of these.
What are these internet spaces that you're talking about? What are these chat rooms?
I mean, I just said, but not necessarily just chat rooms. But I think there's spaces where, like, WhatsApp being encrypted is something that has been, like, helped out. Like,
but has there been more crime in, like, little girls being sold on WhatsApp, or, like,
of
the
course,
internet breaking the
WhatsApp is encrypted.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yes. I'm not saying that, but I think, like, historically, like, there's been, when we live with oppressive governments, I think there's a value to having a space where you can't be seen. And I think, like, even historically, they've used these secret passes to help with.
But historically, all of this had to happen in place. Like you had to be in person to have this quote unquote meeting. You had to stand on, like, everybody knew who was the person that was organizing and stoking these things. Even if you look at like early, whatever country that you want to go to, where like the people organized and overthrew a government, the people had to actually really organize. It wasn't anonymous characters that then you also have to wonder if these are also plants, if these are bots, if these are, like I just watched the Superman movie on Netflix, but like monkeys typing on computers, this rage baiting people.
Yeah.
Oh, you watched the old joint?
I think it came out this year. I don't know. It was.
Oh man, the new one was kind of trash. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It was kind of mid.
Yeah.
But I made it through it. It was a family movie, so we went. We just sat in the front room and watched it. Go ahead, Johnny.
Oh no, I totally agree. I think there's this pros and cons to everything. I think that's definitely like one of the downsides, and I think it's something that I don't have a solution for that. There has been a lot of evil that's been done with it, but I think as far as like messaging and things, I think it has been spaces where certain messages have been assimilated that have helped certain groups fight certain things. But yeah, there's a lot of bad that come with it too, though. I can't necessarily.
Yeah, I guess if I was to throw a take out, I'm not really for the anonymity culture in my opinion. Close to what Ron Dwan just said, I think that you should be able to watch it anonymously if you want to. But like engaging, posting, commenting, I don't know. Like I think that to me, people use it as a veil to propagate messaging that more times than not they don't live by.
What do we count as anonymity? That whatever the word is, like meaning you got to give niggas your first, last name, and address. Like what counts as like being able to show a face? Like because like did your username got to be your government name? Like what counts as anonymity versus not?
We don't have a real life identifier, whether it's your physical face or your real name identifier. Like it's a difference organizing secretly or on the low and organizing as an anonymous thing. Like, we can have secret Black Panther meetings in the church on Sundays and we don't tell the government, we don't bring no phone, but we don't come in the meeting like with masks on and don't know each other.
Right.
That's different because then you don't know who you building with. And so that's what's going on is you have plants and cells and stuff in these things because you don't know who's who. You don't know who's behind the username, who's behind the picture. So it's like there hasn't been no anonymous positive organization that have like really helped nobody that I know.
Who's them hackers?
What about the group Anonymous?
Anonymous, yeah, that's their name. Yeah,
that's actually
Anonymous.
their fucking name.
Us, like, nigga, what a student loans, what a credit card do? They don't never do nothing that really.
Niggas will bluff and shit.
They working on that one, bro.
And they ain't drop. They ain't really did shit, to be honest. In my opinion. They do bluff really good though.
Ain't no hacker really shook the world up yet. Like
maybe you could say Snowden a little bit, but that's about it. The WikiLeaks a little, but that's about it. And we know him, and that's the thing. We know who Eric Snowden is.
But he dropped it on one of them anonymous sites though. Like that was the way he was able to. It was on WikiLeaks. That's like dark web, and you drop stuff anonymous. And I don't know
it's not dark web. WikiLeaks wasn't dark web. It was like regular internet.
All that got it. Like so, none of that. Oh, somebody go get it, put it out. So WikiLeaks leaked, like all that shit in the signs, all that shit come out. So you doing anything online, they go find it. Like they go find it.
I tried, KD.
All right. Yeah, I guess any last commentary on that before we kind of move on? No. All right. Cool.
Read that last comment. What did it say?
Oh, I don't know. We live in a post-privacy society. Doxing yourself is the price you pay to have a voice in the public square, i.e., social media.
Oh,
fair enough. I guess we can kind of move along. Cancel culture versus chaos culture, and this will lead us into us speaking about the culture war. We'll drop the call in soon too. Everybody that's tapped in, that's waiting. Shout out to our regulars that do call in. We have Steve, you got Old Man, you got Unc, you got Chuck, Kamu.
G say turn them cameras on tonight.
G said turn them. hey, That's what G said. Y'all heard what he feel. Especially if you got a channel.
Now, it's a few niggas that always come up here. We ain't never seen their face, but they do a lot of talking.
Could be
That's a
light
fact.
skin, could be dark.
That's a fact. But hey, keep rocking. We love it. Pause.
Uh-oh. All right. Is inflammatory speech the price of freedom or the cost of chaos? What happens when, again, we continue to allow toxic dialogue to fester without limits? What is the end goal to this? This inflammatory speech, it only seems that it's ratcheting up. What is the end goal? What does this look like in 10 years?
We're gonna go back. It's gonna be crazy. But America is a place where they used to have duels, and that was public. I mean, that was a part of like Aaron Burr, Alexander Hamilton. That's like a real part of like American history. I done went dark on them, boy.
Yeah, in several ways, like having duels. So you saying in 10 years we gonna be back to niggas having duels in the street?
I mean, if niggas like,
just say no, Johnny. You started off with a plea for nonviolence.
Yo, but then he wanna, but then he talking about fight fire with fire. Now he talking about duels. Like
that's why
he wanted to be peaceful, but now he wanna fight fire with fire. I don't get it.
That's why I started there. That's exactly why I started there.
Crazy. Yeah, fellas, what's your thoughts?
You can go, G. I gotta get this late.
Damn.
Question.
We're talking about what happens when we let toxic dialogue fester without limits. So again, right now the inflammatory conversations are only doing it's only rising. It's only becoming more and more ratcheted up. We done went to calling people Yahtzees and fascists and Hitlers. Like it's not too many more words that you're gonna be able to get off and normalize. What is y'all thoughts in let's say a 10-year span? Like where does this lead to if we don't do some version of course correcting with this heightened toxic dialogue festering right now?
It's so really parallel with the education and education that people are getting. If you got a strong-minded populace, then it won't fester long because it'll keep getting stamped out. But if you got weak-minded, influential sheep, then it can be really dangerous because you have these idiots out here really believing it. So it's going to be a matter of how fast and how much you can truly educate people with the truth and the facts. And when that is prevalent, then you can't have a lot of toxic shit festering out here.
Gotcha. And I guess to give just a tidbit to kind of lean A Black will come back in a second. He disappeared, but to lean to where A Black stance was, or Johnny, I guess I'll say stance was about the kids going on the college campus and doing the whole little thing. Tennessee State University. I think, in my opinion, the best case scenario is that you beat them in dialogue and you stomp out the idea and you embarrass the idea. It's kind of what Charlie Kirk did really well. And what grew MAGA inside that young base is that he found people that couldn't beat him in a conversation, whether he was right or wrong. And he broadcasted that and he allowed the thought to fester, for it to grow. Because like he stumped out what he would say would be like the leftist liberal ideology, and it worked really, really well. Like you can, like the idea and the concept of this works really, really well. I think that, to me, defeating ideas in the public square, especially if, in my opinion, if you're on the right side of it, is probably the best way to defeat these toxic spaces and things like that.
No, I agree. And that's actually what I was gonna get back when I mentioned the duels. I don't think we should get back to that, but it takes a level of responsibility individually, where like people have to be able to disagree, and we have to be able to like attack ideas and not people to get there. But if you don't, we will get back to the the dual age where people only gonna know one way to fight it out. But I think it's an individual thing where, like, if we're gonna do that, if we're gonna have these, public discourse, you have to be able to like separate, maybe like man from idea or the person from idea, in order to push forward, better ideas for everybody.
Gotcha. All right. G, any closing marks before we move on?
No, we can move.
All right. So I guess this is probably a good time to start moving into the culture war conversation. And yeah, I guess it makes sense if we start off with identifying a definition of what we mean when we say culture war. I'll read off a definition. Y'all can let me know if y'all agree, disagree. And from there, we can start building the conversation just so that we at least know that we're talking about the same thing as we're having the conversation. So what I have down as culture war, y'all tell me if y'all agree, disagree, if I need to add something, is the conversations around divisive topics that are debated in person, online, and via media outlets that draw on tribal lines that tend to impact motivations of voters, policies, elections, and society as a whole. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think it starts with hopefully it's where it stays, but it starts with the conversations, and yeah, so I agree. Yeah, that's the basis of it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, as we start building, I guess the first question I'll ask y'all would be, in the culture war conversation, is it more split by age and race than it is progressive versus conservative ideology? What is y'all thoughts?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. I think it is more ideology based, because I think it's like,
Do you think it is more like conservative versus progressive?
Yeah, well, I would. That's a weird way. It's a similar thing to that, but I think it's more on that identity. It's like how you identify. If you identify left or right, because there's a lot of, I think, conservative people that identify, more on the liberal side or on the left side. So I think it's, but because you're a black person, you're gonna, more identify with the left. So I definitely think it's a more identity thing, whether it's left or right, Republican, Democrat.
Are you saying yes or no?
Well,
I'll ask you each one individually, and then maybe that'll paint a better question.
Oh, I think it's more.
Do you think that first, a big part of the gender war is based on age?
The gender war specifically.
My bad. I said.
Gender. Yeah. He wasn't talking about the gender war.
No, I wasn't talking. The culture war. The culture
war. Yeah.
Is the cultural war based fairly split on age? Let's start there. So if you look at youth voting, youth identity, when it comes down to a lot of these cultural war conversations, I'll read off some of them really quickly. Mental health, abortion, LGBT, gender identity, DEI, race relations, CRT, cancel culture and free speech, gun control, immigration, respectability, politics, religion. A lot of these things, that according to data, it seems that there's a split when it comes down to younger people and older people.
I'd agree on age
first. Okay, so you say you do believe.
I'd agree. I'd agree, but I think younger.
Let me ask, race. Do you think that race plays a part in people's association with some of these culture war conversations and topics? Being black, being white, being Hispanic, being
I think that plays a part too. Absolutely.
I mean, they literally, his whole platform, Kirk was talking about, was it the white replacement type? Like that's definitely like race for sure.
But I think that's just it's a component of it. It's just
okay. So and then do you think that those play a bigger part than people being specifically progressive and conservative?
No, I don't necessarily think it plays a bigger part. And I'll tell you, I'll give you a good answer, or Me and my boy Quinn, we were talking about one of our buddies one of his buddies from high school, where he started off a little more liberal, and as time has gone by, he went more into, and he has changed, and he's leaned more, conservative. So, but I think
Doesn't that prove the point though?
but I think it's more about his identity versus his, because I also know,
Yeah, but your identity would change as you get older. So,
but there's also been people his same age that stayed on the left. They didn't necessarily have that drift. I think the drift was based on a specific thing, more so than like
but when he
everybody
was
else.
young and black, he was.
But it's about a white guy.
liberal.
This is more about a white guy.
All right, so when he was young and white, also he was liberal, which is like the general identity marker of young and white, especially young and black. As he became older and white, he became more conservative, which is also the general known like transition that they say. They say when if you have a heart, then you're liberal. When
I'm talking about more like political.
And if you have some sense or like some whatever the little saying is, you turn conservative as you get older. Some shit like that.
Yeah, but I think it's a little different when like black people get a little more conservative versus what we witness. And I don't want to give say man, but like he kind of went from one extreme to like another extreme, and it wasn't really based on his age, because there's been a lot of people that have gotten older and didn't like switch extremes. I think it was more based on him being a white guy and him being indoctrinated in some of them vacuums, and I think that had more to do with it than just his age. I think over time the propaganda won over. I think over time.
Both of those things still go to age and then his race. That was the argument that I was making: is age and race would be.
But I think it's more that
playing a part. You just described that it took him a long, like over time, because he was a white guy, he changed. That sounds like you're describing what I'm saying.
Maybe, but yeah, I'll change my answer. I'll go back to
Right.
I'll change my answer.
Okay. And all right. So, G, what is your thought? Progressive versus conservative. Is that where the real line is drawn at, or is there more nuanced when it comes down to race and age?
Yeah, I definitely don't think the real line is drawn progressive, conservative. It's something else. It's really something else. And like, and so J. Edgar Hoover was a closeted gay man, and yet he was notorious about speaking out against gay lifestyle and things like that. And I feel like that's a lot of what we're seeing, if I'm just being honest. A lot of, even if it's not on the LGBTQ tip, pause, it's just on the it's just even if even if it's not from that point of view, it's from the standpoint of like people vocally speaking out about things that they secretly enjoy. And so I feel like it's not so much a conservative progressive thing, because I feel like there are like quote unquote closeted progressives and closeted conservatives who don't want to admit that they like things about the other side. And then the way that that's coming to light is what we're seeing here with all this craziness.
But is it more based on the age and the race, or is it more about your ideology? Because it is a propaganda.
I think
thing
the age
that you have to go through before you like
but
have that transition.
I think age and race I think age and race the most, just off the fact that a lot of the rhetoric is undeniably centered around like white superiority and like white replacement. So like so I would say like race at that point, but two age, because of social media factor. When I talk to Gen X and boomers, a lot of them didn't even never heard of Charlie Kirk until he died, as an example. And a lot of this rhetoric that we hear like on here, like for example, I never heard of like FBA and Tether until we started this show a couple years ago. It's like, if you're not of age to be on the internet, you're not even in the loop with a lot of this stuff going on.
But a lot of the old people are the ones way more susceptible. Like, as soon as they touch the internet, they're the ones that are getting, they're not the ones out here hurting people to the silo, and I think it is about the indoctrination that you go through, which is more a mindset thing. Because like,
but how many of these killers are old?
But I'm saying, but how many of these like old people once they get on the internet start talking crazy on both sides?
I mean, they
get on
fall victim to the
Facebook.
Nigerians with the scam. They'll give
But I
up their
say, but they get on
credentials.
Facebook. They get on Facebook, and once they read about 13, 14 posts, they come back and be talking crazy. It happens in black families and white families. But it's a more
But they not going out
indoctrination
being.
thing.
But they
It's
not.
not
But
about their age or their race. It's a I'm falling in this silo of information, and now
Well, no, I think that older people are definitely way more susceptible.
old people will talk crazy, but they're not going out hurting people.
But
I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing old people
their
going out hurting
political
people.
ideology is is more based on like their identity, not necessarily or what they or what they think. Mindset.
But all right, so what we're talking about is the cultural issues and like where people saying that. But generally speaking, and I don't know, like as you say it, you keep hinting that people have to go through a process of getting older or
getting indoctrinated.
But again, like this is still a thing that takes time, and why people tend to it goes more times than not. It goes liberal, and then it like curves itself into conservative, and that's a process that happens over time, and usually it's early 20s. A lot of people start off as liberal, and then it curves itself into some conservative principles when it comes down to politics and or some of these culture war issues. It's again, it seems that it bases fairly closely to age, especially when then we like if we take abortion, or if we take let's take gender identity, and we look at how older people feel about it, and then look at gender identity and how 18-year-olds feel about it.
I mean, I think age does play a part of it, a big part too. I think. I mean, I didn't deny that. I definitely think, but I think, yeah, I give you that. But I think the ideology, though, I think like America having these two things that you have to choose from plays a part in that too. Like no matter what age you get from, the identity, I got to be left or I got to be right. I think that creates a tribalism that's bigger than age or race. I think.
But do you think the younger people even understand left or right versus the things they like and don't like? I don't even know if a young person even really understands the spectrum.
Not really. That's
of
not a
conservative
pause.
and liberal.
To be honest, I think that to an extent they do, but I think that honestly, I don't think that they understand the full spectrum of conservatism. I think that they're more so confronted with and given liberal ideas first. And those are the things that are like, whether, we understand school, like especially public school systems, you're going to fall into a lot of like liberal ideology and teachings, especially if you go to like a minority-based school. Then if you're going to college, generally speaking, this is like Trump's whole push back against the education system, that they're indoctrination machines, is the idea that it leans more liberal as well. When you look on news, and we speak about like what comes on mainstream media and movies, and shout out Unc put us on the game that the Grammy said, you got to have two of these three. You got to have some gay people in there. You got to have some minorities in there, or somebody with like a handicap or something. I forget what it was, but
don't have all three.
So in my opinion, it seems like they're definitely presented first, whether it's right or wrong, with like liberal ideologies. I don't know if they're specifically given conservative ideologies, and more times than not, younger people to me seem inflamed at conservatism because of it's taught to them that it's almost evil.
But I think
go ahead.
I think there's but there's a lot of young, like I think it's more like I think that's more social demographic, because I think like if you go to Utah, I think a lot of those even out there, they're being raised Republican. They're not being raised with liberal ideologies.
When they go to college, they're like the majority of college kids are liberal. There are some Republicans. The majority, the overwhelming majority of college kids.
But what percentage of the youth goes to college? Like is it 50%? I don't know that.
All right, so the majority of the youth and how they vote is liberal. It goes Democrat.
I mean, Okay, I mean, I'm just saying. I think like I know people that have been raised conservative their whole lives with conservative ideology,
But
and
I
being
know
young. And I
I'm
don't
not
think
making a zero sum statement. So I wouldn't be saying that there are no young conservatives, and that there's not a space for young conservatives. That's what Charlie Kirk did. Like Turning Point started when he was like 16 or 17, and he ran that and he pushed it, and the whole ideology was grabbing young conservatives and converting young youth into conservatives.
so.
There's
That's
a space for it. Nobody's making that argument.
but that means they could be
It's a
left or
minority,
right.
huh?
Like you think there's the hyper minority, or you think it's more 40, 60, 30? Like I think it's a
I think
growing.
maybe you can say like a 30-70, 80-20 is not close. I don't think that it's close to 60-40 at all.
Okay, I mean, I'd have to look, but I've always seen like conservative young people, and like even back in the day, I went to school with a few of them, so I can speak on this. But even back in the day, we consider like the young Republicans, we can, kind of put it on racism, be like, oh, that's just the race,
But
but it was a
was it more racist whites at your school or just regular, like probably liberal leaning whites?
it was it was probably more liberal whites, of course, yeah. But it was still this whole thing, and like I get it.
But nobody's saying that they don't exist though, and that's the only thing that I'm.
Especially in South Carolina, we know they there.
But I also think that if you're in South Carolina, which is South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, like
Man, we ain't got that.
They start getting like some but
Georgia.
If there you're saying, and you went to a primarily white school, it still was majority liberal. Imagine you're now in New York. Imagine you're now inside, like California or something like that. What do you think those numbers look like?
I get it, but I mean, I'm saying that I think there were some smaller schools that were like completely white, where I think their numbers were probably closer to 50-50 with some of those things. I think.
I'm just saying, like your anecdotal evidence points to the fact that even inside the most conservative states, the youth was more liberal, and that's backed up by what the stats say in general. Also,
I agree.
All right, fellas. I guess we can we can move our way up.
How much? But yeah, I agree. It's still more. Yeah.
All right. So again, we're talking culture war. So I guess we could start here. By default, because the right won the previous election, does that mean they're up right now? Does that mean that they are winning the quote unquote proverbial culture war? Trump got in, but Trump has did a lot of shit since he's been in. But that last election, they got the dub. Some people say belt to ass. Some people say it was the most popular vote. The Republicans, they say, hey, take them electoral colleges. Are they winning the culture war? I think they said that the biggest rated ad that they ran was directly on culture war lines. Trump is for he and her or something like that. Kamala is for them and they. She supports trans rights in prison, surgery, what are y'all thoughts? Who's up?
I think they haven't won it, but I think they're fighting back. I don't think it's over with though either. I think the Dems was up big.
The Dems was up big when?
About 15 years ago.
Okay.
But now they coming back. And I think I think they coming back. I think the Dems still got them, but I think they making that last. They catching up. I think the Dems are still necessarily winning, but I think the Democrats or the Republicans are closing the gap, and I think they're closing it a lot more quickly than people anticipated it for sure. I think Democrats still winning.
Okay.
I would frame it differently. I would say, so how when Toronto won the ring, the Raptors got a ring with Kawhi.
Yeah.
You saying KD got a blown Achilles?
No. I'm not saying that. But But
Take
I'm
that.
more so.
Never
I'm more
mind,
so
I ain't even gonna hint at the joke that's left out there in the air. But go ahead.
what I'm more so saying is that even though, like, right after they got that ring, everybody knew they won't go win it the next year. They still got that year to say we the champs. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
That's the Republicans right now.
Ooh, that's a
That's
take.
that's
You
that's
said
Trump
that's the
right now.
Republicans right now.
That's
Yeah.
that's the party right now. Yeah, they got the last ring
Oh, I see what you're
undeniably,
saying. Oh, okay.
undeniably.
Hey Kofi, I didn't even give a take on Kamala.
You can't even talk about it. Can't even say.
I didn't even give a take on them. I said what Trump
Oh man,
Trump ad said
Can't say that.
that they also said was like really popular.
Who won? Who won after Toronto that year?
thank Giannis.
Yeah. We had a little weak run of champions.
But yeah, I think this is what it is. It's like, you know, the Democrats did so bad under Biden in that election, that the Republicans just, like, you know, it was kind of like a blown Achilles. If you not gonna lie, like, everything crumbled for the Democrats. Not only did they lose KD, Steph went down, everybody just went down. It's just like they were depleted. The Democrats were depleted going into that election,
with Steph.
and all they had was Kamala and that bread that they raised. And the Republicans took full advantage of an unhealthy team in which, you know, in theory, the Democrats just didn't play their hand the best, in my opinion. That's why they lost the election. But that said, the Republicans, you know, Trump had a huge turnout of voters. And you could just, you know, like I said, they got that one. But what is this? What month is this? September. We almost at his first year in office here. And I don't think it's positive. You know, things are not cheaper. You know, the tariffs are not yielding the types of results that he claimed they would yield. The cancel culture and all that stuff is not seen as a positive.
But
let him finish it real quick.
Hold on, but they up right now because, like, after the Republicans, like, if this is a new game, the Republicans are winning.
You see what happened with the Jimmy Kimmel shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's a whole other thing. Like, I don't know if the Republicans are up just because of the Charlie Kirk thing, because honestly, there's a lot of moderates and independents in there too. It's like the part, like, even Charlie Kirk, like, in the Republican Party, they're at odds. The party is at like a civil war. There's MAGA versus everybody else. Elon Musk is going crazy again, taking checks away from a bunch of MAGA people on Twitter, on X rather. So the party is in shambles, frankly. Like, they are at odds with each other. Trump is not delivering on any of the things that he really promised his own base. And the Epstein files, folks want to see them files, bro. Like that has not gone away. So I don't see his tenure as a positive thus far.
Like, what wins have the Democrat had other than, like, just watching shit burn?
Yeah, that's the win. That's what I'm saying. Kawhi left the Raptors. That was all that it took. It's like, it really wasn't even that he left, and that's that. And they're not competitive. This is Trump's last hurrah. He won't be here no more for them. He won't be able to do it so much. They're gonna lose their star.
Hey, listen, if I was to throw back to a previous conversation that we did have, and I think that some of y'all were against a little bit of this technique, or like the quote unquote strategy from the left that seemingly to what G is saying is actually working, when they said, well, we're going to allow them to show y'all who they really are, and, you know, that's going to work in our favor. And Trump subsequently ran up them executive orders. He ran up them tariffs. He ran down on niggas with ICE. He threw the National Guard inside every city,
and he hurt Middle America while doing it.
And unemployment rose, inflation rose.
The farmer, the agriculture struggling. A big part of his base.
Like, at what cost? Like, yes, Trump is losing, but, like, you gonna do a bad campaign and be like, well, fuck it, watch what he do, and then, like, he fuck up. But, like, it's people that's losing jobs. Like at what cost to them?
But what, outside of complaining, what else could the Dems do anyway?
I don't know.
The Dems are still struggling. The Dems, I'm not saying they're like a clear cut. They have work to do, but the Republicans are doing a lot of the work for them right now. They're at
I don't
odds.
think
They
you
had a
could
civil
just.
war. They
It's
gonna
like
tear
me
each other's
cheering
heads
on
off.
Clemson's L's and being like,
Turn that camera back on. I seen you backstage. Turn that camera back on.
They gonna tear each other's head off. Pause.
But yeah, nonetheless,
Kofi gonna camera them boys today.
Bringing
Good job, G.
the guys up here. Yeah, I know him. He's a favorite to the show. He's a Discord legend. He has to his name. Y'all see it, Kofi. I guess he's no longer the critic. He is Kofi the Heathen.
I forgot to change that.
What's going on, man? What's happening?
No, but I like how the conversation is going. Pretty much what you guys said. All they gotta do is sit back and just wait for the Republican Party to just implode. My favorite advocate being devil's advocate at the beginning during this whole campaign. You know, I was saying this was going to happen, and you guys said I was being hyperbolic, fear mongering and all the other stuff. But Stephen Carr was the head of the FCC, and that was all a part of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
It's all happening now. I do agree that the Dems fucked up. Even Kamala Harris said, everything was fucked up. She's coming out with a book.
Which is another fuck up in itself. Like way too little, too late. Pause.
Yeah.
She's doing just terrible.
Yeah, well, she admit that. She's like, it was the book she has, some book tour she got going out, and she's saying, yeah, she didn't have enough time. Threw Joe under the bus a little bit because he didn't want to move. Remember, Joe Biden says, no, I'm just gonna be a one-term president. And he's like, nah, I could do it again. I'll do it again. So it was a lot of shit on the Democrats that they messed up on. But
there were a vice president pick under the bus. Like, damn, she didn't take accountability for nothing. Basically, she was like, yeah, could have went with what's his name, Booty J.
Oh yeah, because he was Jewish. And she's like, I understand that because remember, I'm saying the reason why she lost because of not enough time. 1, 2, she's black. 2, she's a woman. So her thing is saying like, wait, you want the American people to accept a woman, a black woman, and a Jewish person?
It wasn't because he's Jewish, brother.
No. I'm telling you what her reasoning is.
That's not why she said. She didn't say because he's Jewish.
That's what she said. I could have
sworn. She said because he's an alphabet boy.
Oh, you talking about Buttigieg?
Correct. Correct.
Oh, Buttigieg. Yeah. No, it was another person.
You talking about Stein? You talking about the Pennsylvania?
Yes. Yeah. I was talking about him. Yeah, Buttigieg. Yeah. She did say that about him too. But again, I get it.
Kamala just said, I'm going out with all the identity politics.
And then still try to be like, oh, but the Democrats have superstars. It's like, you liar.
Well, no, I personally do think that a lot of people hate her. Jasmine Crockett's a superstar. I think Gavin Newsom is close enough to a superstar. Like he is like the classic establishment Democrat face, look, talk. They got a couple people that's in the running that's coming up. That
what's a Democrat?
What's in the AOC is
Newsom and AOC are the superstars.
Yeah,
but AOC too young. She's not gonna get no traction. She's too young. She just got here.
Well, I don't know. Everybody's known AOC for at least the last 8 years.
In a minute, man.
I mean, 8 years, but
the social media era love
AOC also can pull from MAGA, and that's one of the main things that Democrats could benefit off of is that like she sells out Trump country,
right?
Like that's not something a lot of like her and Bernie about the only
doing the oligarchy tour that they were doing. They were pulling on bigger crowds than Trump. Yeah.
And she's like respectfully, like she's got a look that's marketable. Like AOC could do some damage.
The only thing I want to push back on when it comes to identity politics, Q, I don't know if I misheard you wrong. When Harris ran, she didn't make the same mistake that Clinton did. What was her Clinton slogan? I'm with her. They keep trying to force Harris into talk about that. You're the first black Asian American that's going to run. Talk about you're the black one. She stayed away from identity politics.
No,
Trump that was doing that.
My statement was that Trump and them played on the culture war thing, and that was their most successful ad. Was doing the we're for regular Americans and she's for them and they or whatever the whole little trans ad. That's the statement that I was saying. Not that she was running that campaign. It's that they played into that identity politics against her.
Yeah, and it kind of backfired because I understand why she wasn't doing it, because for the same thing that, okay, we got a Dems playing identity politics. We already know. She said, look, I don't have to tell people that I'm black. I don't have to tell people that I'm woman. They can see that for themselves. So I'm not going to come campaign on that. I'm going to campaign on what I could do for the American people, where you have the right talking about she turned black all of a sudden, and she turned black and DEI and all this other thing. So the right was always placating this identity politics, where the left was trying to stay away from that, because the left automatically gets labeled, okay, you're the left, so you're for LGBTQ, you're for DEI, you're for killing babies, you're for all these things. So she pretty much had to defend her position on that, but she wasn't campaigning on that. It was the right that was saying, look, if you vote for them, the leftist lizard people are gonna kill your babies and eat it and shit like that. And then the right was saying, well, we're against war. We don't like war. Saying we don't like the Ukraine war, but we don't mind the Gaza war. Give Benjamin Netanyahu all the things that he wants. So there's a lot of hypocrisy on that end. But I do feel that when it comes to culture war, it's embedded in America. There's no such thing as the American race. It's not a fucking thing. American consists of different types of people, shapes, sizes, different beliefs, and creeds. So everyone's going to go on the side that they feel that represents them more.
Fair enough. So bringing to the stage another one of our weekly contributors. I do want to start showing more love to like some of the guys that call in weekly and contribute. And speaking to a lot of people that watch the show, one thing that they have voiced to me that they do enjoy is a lot of the call-in guys. Like, they get a bit of like our weekly POV, but then once like the call-ins come in, and then you get like another array of voices and common voices that are consistent, where it can also paint a different POV. They tend to appreciate it. So old man, what's going on, brother? Talk to us. What is your thought?
Big dog?
What's up? I don't got a lot to say tonight, but the one thing, Q, could you not normalize people coming on the panel half naked? Your boy A Black with his shirt off. I mean, yo, could you please have a dress code, please? All right. I think I did.
All right, man.
I had to tackle me. I didn't even notice the pause.
All right, old man.
We all laid up on the couch, got a chain, and got chest hair showing. Come on, bro.
Oh man, he was just prepping. He could probably FaceTime. He could get on FaceTime right when he got off the stream.
Hey, old man, he better get married, bro. Let that man live.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He better get married.
We getting in his wedding shape. We getting in shape. I got you.
Speaking of culture wars, let's not normalize this one. I feel you. So I guess I do have some culture war topics that I want to get us to run down if we have enough time, and just get some of your opinion. Not necessarily if you think that like which side that you agree with, but if you think a side is winning this part of the war right now, right? But before we get there, maybe Kofi spoke to it just a little bit, but I want to just run down the panel. If you think that a specific side is winning right now, I think that who gave the paper champion analogy just a second ago? G gave us that one. I don't know if Johnny, if you really said who you.
I think the left is up, but the right.
Okay.
I'm looking at it like the fourth quarter.
Okay.
So I think the right's gonna come back.
Okay. I'll go Kofi, then I'll go Old Man, then we can get into some of these topics.
Yeah, what's the question again?
Do you think that there is a lead right now? Does either side have a lead inside proverbial culture war? Not necessarily if one side is right or wrong, but if one side is winning in the public, the court of public opinion.
I feel whoever is diehard right wing, I don't think there's nothing you can do in order to convince them otherwise. But independents and people that used to vote for, that used to be on the left and say, hey, I'll just vote on the right. People that their vote sways from left to right or whatever that are reasonable. They're looking at the right and go like, God damn. And a lot of them say, I didn't vote for that. And I think, again, like I said before, the right is doing it to themselves. They have nobody to blame, even though they're still blaming Biden. They have control of all three branches of government. They can't point the finger at anybody, even though they're still trying to do that. So right now,
it's not like you're saying that the right is losing because of some of the recent, like the convertibles. They're the people that can be converted either way or swayed either way. They're starting to look at the right and be like,
yeah,
like, I was wrong. Maybe I need to go back center or push back left.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So not even as much as the left is winning, but the right is losing at the moment. Oh man, talk to us.
I really think they're both losing right now. I mean, they're so fluid. You got Democrats that are going Republican. You got Republicans going Democrat. I mean, it's so fluid right now. I think that's why the intensity is so high, because one mistake by one side, everybody wants to hop on the other side, and then vice versa. So if I have to give someone, I hate that you call it culture, but if I have to give like a political side advantage right now, I still would say Republican, just because they have the power.
Okay.
But as far as when you guys were talking about Gavin Newsom and popular Democrats in California, he's hated right now. So
I keep hearing that a lot from a lot of people.
Yeah, it's not a good look for him.
People from both sides that they do not.
Like, would he not win a re-election?
No, he definitely ain't gonna win in California. So his only chance is to go president. Yeah.
So he wouldn't win the governor's race if he were to run again, in your opinion.
They have to have like is the word incumbent? Because like a Republican, it'd be so hard for a Republican to win in Cali, right?
Yeah. No, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a Republican and won as governor. Like they've had Republican governors in California.
Used to be a Republican state.
Yeah, they've had Republican governors for
a
sure.
hot minute. For a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
So the blue wave is more recent with Cali.
Yeah, if you go historically, yeah.
Okay.
But like Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't an old governor of the state. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's fair. It's fair. Okay. All right. So let's run down some of these culture war
governor
conversations, and then we'll kind of revamp this exact same conversation towards the end. All right. So again, when I say culture war, I'm speaking about the conversations around divisive topics that are debated in person, online, and via media outlets that draw on tribal lines that tend to impact the motivation of voters, policies, elections, and society as a whole. All right, saying all that to say, Johnny, what's your favorite concept right now? Johnny the God, talking mental health.
Not a concept, it's a thing.
Go ahead.
I'll let you ask the question, but it's not a concept.
Okay. All right. So the there has been some version of a culture war as it pertains to mental health, and a lot of the right feels that the left leans too heavily on mental health diagnoses, anxiety, XYZ, and that there should be more of a push for stoicism. There should be more of a push for being like a physically and mentally tough person that's able to persevere and fight through. The left kind of speaks to the idea that a lot of these concepts have led to the West, white men and men in general, having higher rates of self-deletion, self-harm rates, and depression. What are y'all thoughts? This mental health conversation in the public square, not explicitly, who do you think is like which side that you agree with? And if you want to sprinkle in what you agree with and which side you believe is winning, that's cool as well. But mental health in the culture war conversation, starting off there, G, talk to us.
Honestly, both sides try to use it to their advantage when it's convenient, in my opinion. Like when somebody goes off the rails and it's like fits the profile of what was homeboy out of Utah who was like, man, we was hoping it wasn't one of us.
Oh, the governor.
Yeah, he was giving that speech and he let that slip. He was hoping it wasn't one of us. Like, I feel like whenever the killer ends up being one of them, similar like a Dylan Roof, it's like, oh, where's all this sympathy? You know, young man led down a wrong path. Like, we need remorse, mental health. Like, you know, conservatives can show that compassion in certain aspects, but then, you know, in other regards, it's like, nah, they're just very cold and callous to the idea of people having mental problems as it relates to other things that they disagree with. So I feel like both. It's just funny how both sides have inconsistent, like, you know, hypocritical, I guess is more the word, where they pick and choose when they want to advocate for mental health and when they want to, quote unquote, turn a blind eye to it and say that you can't really blame mental health. So I feel like both parties are guilty of misusing it for real.
But would you say that the idea of leaning into mental health would be something that's more left based? Like the introduction of all.
Yeah, if you got to attribute it to one side, it's definitely more. I don't know, man. Honestly, because
it kind of sounds like the left would have won that culture war moment, and that the right has started to adopt some of it and moved away from some of its classic big muscle, testosterone, stoicism, red pill.
In other words, toxic masculinity.
Yeah, Unc told me that he don't know what that means, so I stopped using it.
Unc got the terms. No, I agree. I think the left is winning when it comes to mental health.
Okay.
Of course, but I think there's, like, societally, I think there are pros and cons that come with it. Like, of course, but I think, like, currently in America, the left is winning that particular war, whether I agree with it now. I think it's a mixed bag of both. What we need in society, like, toughness matters, but so does, like, you know, letting it out too. So I think, like, in all actuality, it's a balance. But if we talking about America right now, the left is winning.
Gotcha. Kofi, talk to us, brother.
Kind of reject the framing a little bit, only because the right has. Well, no, I don't reject the premise. I reject the you know, how it's being presented, like the question, because let me tell you what I mean. Mental health should not be something that's politicized, and the right has been doing that. Mental health, just health, period. Getting vaccinations, things like that. They saying Trump saying don't use Tylenol because it causes autism. Shit that was never politicized. The right is politicizing it. So when it comes to mental health, right, the right says they care about it, just like what G says. The right says they care about it, but Trump and Republicans is defunding on mental health organizations. You know, that the government has, like suicide hotlines, right? That the government provides. They're disbanding that. You know what I'm saying? So let's say if you're a vet, I know vets, you know, that they really need someone to talk to, right? And Trump got rid of that. So overall, when it comes to mental health, when it comes to the right at this moment right now, and they're not making any noise about it. That's why I said the right is. That's why I'm blaming all of the right, saying they don't care about mental health because you just banning mental health. So every time, if it's a shooter, like you says, and the person is a white male, you know, with no political affiliation, especially when Trump was assassinated twice, there's a bunch of MAGA people that try to kill Trump, but they're saying, "Oh, mental health." But if it's a black person or something like, it's a black person like that, oh, it's how they are. Or if it's it's trans person, it's mental health. It has nothing to do with gun reform. It has nothing to do with that. You know, so I would say that's why I kind of reject the framing in the political sense of politicizing mental health. But
I guess, like, if we're speaking to it, because rejecting the framing of that it shouldn't be politicized is different than, like, to me, like, do you agree that it is politicized though?
Yeah.
And that one side has pushed for mental health advocacy and one's kind of pushed somewhat against it, or just remaining, you know what I mean, what things are as is.
Yes, It's a policy. So if you have a policy,
right. But to me, like that's the culture we're apart, and then separating like
the Republicans make it a culture thing versus, well, this is a policy. This is something that we're putting for because the American people need. And then they're saying, then the right saying, look at these soy boys telling you about your feelings. That's where it gets politicized.
Yes. And
that's
like,
not where
I
it
guess
gets politicized, though. It gets politicized, and like we just had a case here in North Carolina where the guy had mental health, and because Democrats are soft on mental health, somebody ended up losing their life, unfortunately. And that's where like that's a
this when it
bigger
becomes politicized.
Explain that to me. How were they soft on mental health? That I don't understand.
Well, the guy, you haven't seen Trump even talked about it. Where the guy he had a history of mental health issues. The Democrats had give chance after chance after chance. It had been documented. His family had complaints, and every time he went to jail, he would always get out, and it was just a soft stance. And he was they let him out, and somebody got killed.
Johnny,
it was the bus incident.
The local government, not the
I
federal.
don't know if you would frame that as the issue with the Dems. I think that anything one would probably point closer to the Republicans' regulation on mental health facilities and services than you would the Dems' empathy for mental health and their want to help more people that have mental health.
But I guess maybe. But I think that's the framing of it though, where like we're talking about like
that is how it gets politicized, yes.
But I'm talking about services though. Like you talking about like I think there should be more services, and that shouldn't be.
Yeah, Dems are for more services. Like traditionally, classically, like the Republicans, the right tends to be against it and more for like prison and yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe I need to rethink what I'm saying because I might be on the opposite side.
But
nonetheless, the other way.
But nonetheless, I guess I was just saying that to me, it sounds like Kofi, more than rejecting the premise, it seems like you just have like a really strong stance on the fact that the left is winning the policy and the right is really, really wrong.
Because they're wrong to politicize it, and if they're for the American people, and
right, but that's different.
Not be against a service like that.
Right, but I think that there's just a different conversation, in my opinion. Like, because oh man, talk to us.
Mental health, I don't think it's a left or right thing. I think it's just an American issue that all of us need to be accountable for and be what's the word I'm thinking of? Just better collaborate. There's a political term for that, but I forgot. But
bipartisan. Bipartisan.
Yeah, bipartisan. Thank you. So mental health to me, I don't care how many programs you have, when you create a system where it's medically okay to change who you biologically are, that's something beyond just like.
Listen, we're gonna get to the LGBT.
Oh, you okay? Well,
yeah, we talking about like schizophrenia and bipolar.
We just talking
I'll
about.
let you get there. Then I'm done. I'll wait.
That's just regular.
I'll let his levels to it, right, Johnny? I got this. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead, continue then.
All right. So before we get to one of the more favorite topics, let's go immigration. There's this typical stance that traditionally the left is a little bit more pro-immigration, allow more in. The right is a little bit more anti-immigration. Recently, we have seen a rise of people being against immigration during like the previous election that Trump won, where he ran primarily on immigration and a couple other things. Since his election, there has also been a turn where whether it's some of his promises weren't quite the exact promises that he had promised, or people didn't like what the actions of his promises look like. This being like the ICE agents grabbing people, grandmas, people that was here for like the past 30 years, pulling up to the elementary schools, pulling up to the Home Depots, the rundown of ICE inside DC, Chicago. I think he want to go to Memphis next. I forget where else he want to go.
Chicago.
Yeah. Saying all that to
going to Charlotte next.
Saying all that to
We
say
well behaved down here.
immigration. What do y'all think? Who is not necessarily which side you agree with, and if you think one side is like morally wrong, or if like it goes against, but who do you believe is currently winning the cultural war of opinions, debates, online discourse right now? I guess we'll start back with G and then work our way back around.
For immigration. Again, it's one of those things where I think the Republicans are winning on the fact that like they went on a run, but the reality is like their work is seemingly hurting their base. So it's like, and what's funny about it too is like a lot of these people voted against their own interests, maybe without knowing how anti-immigration will hurt their bottom line working in agriculture. Maybe they didn't really think about that piece of the equation outside of the tariffs. So
I think that you brought up a basketball analogy last time. I think that there might be a basketball analogy in my opinion this time. I think that there was this year that Golden State, they had just beat LeBron, and they went on what they went 72-10 the following year, 73-9 or some shit like that.
Right.
It was just
they broke the record.
Yeah, it was BTA in the whole playoffs. I don't know if they even lost the game. Maybe they lost like one. Oh no, they Houston took them to 7, but then they got to the finals.
They go 15,
and they went up 3-1 on LeBron. Everybody counted them out. Everybody was like, damn, might as well go ahead and chalk this one. And then there was a walk down that happened. Somebody say that Draymond got suspended, and like we can run excuses.
No, there's no excuse for that. We can admit there's no excuse for that 3-1, right?
That was some GOAT level shit, right?
Okay, all right. So saying all that to say, there was I think 3-1 coming back 3-1. I think that I'm not a LeBron hater in the sense that I can't give him credit for like fire things that he did.
Because people like to give Draymond so much credit for like being a difference maker. Like,
I think they do
bounce
win.
passes.
I think they do win if Draymond plays all 7. I think that they probably win one of them games. But
perfected the bounce pass.
Draymond Green is his own worst enemy, and it's his fault. So I mean, just is what it is. But saying all that to say, when we look at immigration, I think Trump and them, they won the election and they had a really, really big lead. And post-election, whether it's the optics and then the actual reality of it, I don't know if, in my opinion, I don't know if they're still up. Maybe
it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
I looked at it totally different.
Uh-oh.
I see them ice trucks rolling around and everything.
Wait, you seeing the ice trucks?
I've seen some suspected ice trucks. Let me say,
okay. Johnny be at the Home Depot.
Oh no, we got to get some. Never mind, I ain't even going.
He got some Hispanic workers that work at his dealership.
I just be over here laying wood. But
oh man, we need you again. We need you again.
But I'll say, like, it to me, the way I looked at it is seeing all the ice shit going down and seeing like everybody in disarray. I couldn't help but think the Republicans up on the immigration, like they doing what they want to do with it. And to me, that makes
but we talking about
they
the culture war part. So you think that the public feels that they feel still as strong as they did previously? Like Republicans, they have all the authority right now, so they're going to do what they want. But how is the public reception to all of this?
If I put it in that aspect, they losing it. They are losing because I think more.
If you feel like the red hat MAGAs that you don't want on black campuses,
Johnny anti-immigration drinking Modelo's. How about it, boy?
I'm not anti-immigration, but I just know This the number one beer in America right now. The number one beer in America right now. I love it. Modelo, my shit. I can't even hate. I ain't even mad at them boys. So like, yeah, I ain't even. They did it with that one. That's a good one.
Y'all don't like German beer? Like, what's the deal? No Becks, no Heineken, no nothing.
I like
of that?
Stella. I
I'm not a
drink
big beer
Heineken
drinker.
too. I do Heineken and Modelo. I'm multicultural with the shit.
I drink me some ale before I drink me some Modelo.
Oh, you tripping. But you tripping. But like I just say like I think like the Republicans are winning, but like as far as just because everybody on 10 because of like what they're doing with the shit. As far as the culture war, I think they have won a little bit of. When it first started, people was mad, but as time is going on, I think there's less and less people being mad. So I think
About what?
The ICE shit.
You think people are not? They're less mad.
You did hear there was a shooting today.
Yeah, at like the ICE facility.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the banality of evil. I think over time people get used to it, and it's just something that be a part of, Barry. I think like as it keeps on going on, I think people are less enraged about it. Like
They just like was a shooting at the facility. How are they less enraged right now?
because they was like fucking up whole cities, and now it's like, and it like there was protests.
What cities was they fucking up whole
LA,
cities?
they had protests. Like I ain't gonna say they
They
fucked it
fucked
up.
up the whole
You say what?
They didn't fuck up the whole city. What are you talking about?
I said, but there were protests enough to where Trump like came and sent the National Guard.
But they didn't fuck up anything. They just was doing the thing that you said that black mean that you don't want.
They did burn up some cars. They did burn
I'm
up
saying,
some
but
cars.
like it died down after
mostly
that too.
peaceful.
It died down after that, and the ICE kept on.
They were
doing-
damaging border patrol vehicles and ICE vehicles, throwing shit at the windows. They were doing some.
I got you.
There
Would
was
you
some
say
rowdy
that-
stuff
would
going
you
on
say
in
that
LA.
a shooting at the ICE facility will be a progression or regression though?
One shooting is
okay
versus a protest. I think that's a little. Like, I think a protest is more disruptive than one shooting, or like a isolated shooting. I think a protest.
Did they say who those shooters were?
A protest is a mass
I'm
level
not sure.
thing.
The Dallas shooter, it was like a white boy.
Yep.
But
I knew it.
I don't know if he was like respectfully. You know how some Latinos will be like white
Spaniard.
identifying in Texas.
Yeah,
he was a Spaniard.
Like a Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I don't know if he was
Ted
like
Cruz,
a
too.
Anglo white or like a Hispanic white. That's what I don't know.
But what I'm saying is, I think a protest like it's a community like outrage versus one person doing it. I think that is a drop in like the community used to care. Now it's just this one guy that's mad. I think that is a difference in like care.
So you don't think that the community is still mad, and that
They're
they
not
just
pro-
keep
they're
protesting?
not protesting anymore.
But who protests? Like when was the last time you seen protests last?
And that's just my perspective. I ain't say they mad, but I'm saying I saw protests at one point this summer. Then I didn't. And I still saw them ICE, like I still saw the deportations and everything. And that's all I'm saying. I think this being normalized. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying who I think is winning. Not that I agree with it or not, but I think like right there, to me, it looks like the Republicans are winning. When it comes
You
to
had a
immigration.
kid birthday party.
Say what?
That's me, man. My two sons just came from college, man. I don't know what's going on in the other room. They all screaming. Bro, I got like 7 people in my house, man. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now it did sound like a happy birthday.
I was like, man, it's time for the little niggas to go to bed, man. You gotta put the little niggas to sleep. They are way too late.
Man, I got teenagers, man. It's teenagers, no kids.
Damn.
Hey, back in my day, teenagers had bedtimes too.
Well, you say they back from college, so that's different.
Yeah.
Oh, what this fall break?
Nah, my son had to come down here for something. That's all. My two sons.
Got you.
And it's a Jewish holiday over here today, so it's New York.
Oh, y'all observe
Rosh Hashanah.
Oh yeah. Oh, so the New York colleges they observe the Jewish holidays.
Well, no, this is a public school. My son's down here for something different. But yeah, the public school is also closed. So it's a combination of a bunch of things.
Got you. All right. Yeah. Did you give your POV?
Nah. What was the question again? Really, I have an idea.
Right now, we're just talking who's winning the cultural war, not who's like winning inside the sense of like morality or who's winning via policy, but who's winning inside the court of public opinion on if the massive deportations that Trump is attempting to do, if it's just or not. What is your thought?
It depends who you ask. If you ask,
my bad. So let's do majority minority. Like, do you think more people are saying that I've swayed to the fact that it is unjust, or do you think that it's still a majority of people that are for the deportations after they've seen how it's been acted out?
I'm gonna say the consensus is that it's unjust because it's spilling over into due process and 14th Amendment. So a lot of people that, let's say, is neutral on it is now tapping in because it's now obviously may affect them. So I think for those two reasons is where more people's like, again, and I've seen it in certain spaces, Republican spaces, they say, hey, look, I thought I was just voting, for them to get rid of the criminals, but they're getting rid of abuela. You know what I'm saying? They're getting rid of hardworking people, even to the point where people that voted for Trump that own farms and manufacturing were saying, hey, man, come on. Javier over here is a good guy, Can you please not evade farm workers here? They're my bread and butter. And Trump went on to say, hey, maybe we should, deport the ones that work. Like, the fuck? Like, that's what we've been saying the whole time. So,
the agriculture industry, they press Trump. Yeah.
So I think, again, the Republicans is falling their own sword, and Democrats is like, oh, wow. But they may fuck this up. Hopefully they won't. They're pretty much giving them, the midterms, giving them, if it keeps up this rate, the Republicans is giving them a midterm sweep on a silver platter, but we'll see what will happen.
Okay. Oh, man, talk to us.
If we're talking about true American citizens who love the United States, then the Democrats are losing because they open the borders to anyone and everyone. Now, the thing that messes it up for the Republicans is because you run on, okay, we're going to shut the border down and try to get rid of all these illegal or people who are undocumented, right? But then you're going to turn around and let some bogus refugees in, and then you're going to say, okay, you can immigrate if you have enough money. That's where they lose, the Republican side, because you're playing both sides now. So, like, you can't justify because someone has money that they can immigrate into America. So that's
would you say the majority of America feels that the Republicans have did good or bad with their policies with immigration since coming in with all said? Like, you expressed some of the good, some of the bad. Do you think that the public would say that they did good or bad?
You act like it's like we're in the beginning stages of this. You like good or bad? Like, I would say,
I think that there's some strong opinions on what they've done so far, for sure.
You just overall or just immigration you're talking about?
No, we're just talking about immigration right now. What they have attempted to enact when we look at how ICE has acted itself out. How when we like you said, the H-1B visa which blew up a piece of MAGA in itself. That was the big Elon Trump divorce. That was the Vivek Ramaswamy divorce from MAGA as well. Like the tariffs has the impact with immigration as well, but we'll get to that. The agriculture people kind of walking back and pretty much pressing Trump to make him say, ICE, let's chill out with a lot of the middle American agricultural worker people. Like there's a lot of things that you can kind of like paint, but then there's also the fact that if I'm to paint some of the good, like the border crossings are almost non-existent right now. Like he has stopped a big inflow of what they were saying was an open border. And that's not like specifically the issue when we start thinking about immigration. So yeah, like I said, just as far as we've gotten so far, maybe we're like, 9 months in, but the report card, and when we're talking about public opinion at the moment, what do you think that it lands? Majority is for it, majority is against what they've done?
So I will answer that two different ways. The majority is for it, and it's not a public opinion. I think the silent people, which is the silent majority, are for deportation. And that's why you don't have, until you see Republicans or say MAGA or saying stop with the deportations and all that stuff, and they're going out and protesting, then the Republicans would be winning in that instance, is what I'm saying. They're winning because you don't see their side protesting against immigration.
Okay, and I guess I wasn't explicitly saying public as in like outcry as much as what you spoke to. This is including the silent majority as well. But you believe that, generally speaking, you think that they're, if you add everybody together, they would be more in favor, whether they outwardly say it or not.
I want to push back on one thing. There was no such thing as an open border during the Biden administration or the Trump administration. So when people say open borders, they're being very disingenuous, saying there was no border patrol, there was no customs.
Kofi, will you admit that there was a spike in crossings when Biden was president relative to not just Trump but also Obama?
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just clarifying the fact. When people say open borders, it shows that the Biden administration let a whole bunch of people in. That's why you have all these immigrants here, was give people this administration to get rid of all the people because the border was open. There was never no such thing as open border.
I don't think nobody. The Biden administration did let a lot of people in relative to other administrations.
Letting somebody in. If you have a party and you invite 5 people and 10 people come, that doesn't mean you had your door open. That just means 5 more people just came. So when
that's not what they're saying. Open border, I get. All right, so Kofi, maybe you're speaking to like the audience, but I don't think
he doesn't like the term open border.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody in here.
Open border is not a literal term.
Open border is a literal term, and I think that's what Johnny was about to say too. When we're saying it, we're saying it more inside like the colloquial way.
I disagree because there's no colloquial term. If it's open, it's
okay.
Open. No
Are you saying you disagree?
It's being regulated and you call it open. If it's open, you're trying to say it wasn't regulated.
If
you say water was open, that means a lot of people came
not
in.
What they're trying to say.
Come on now.
It's literally not what they're trying to say when they say open. They just mean it was a spike. It was more. They're not trying to say that any and everybody was. That's not literally not.
Yeah, but also I think that like this is a point where we can argue.
Here, I'll change it from open border to the Democratic Party.
The concept means, and we're not even disagreeing on the concept.
Allow the flow of immigrants to come to
and that will also be untrue.
That's not untrue though.
That's not untrue.
My position on immigration border is like, yes, what you're saying is a little bit true. The Democrats were very lax on it, and Republicans were too harsh on it, and no one really didn't want to do anything. But again, if you want to blame it for that, when they did the deal for the border, Trump told his people not to close the border when it was open, and he told them to vote against that so he could run on something.
Yeah, he wanted to run on it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all right. Nonetheless, I guess we can move on to our guy. Old man hinted at this, so I'll start with him as we speak about LGBTQ and gender identity. You can loop in trans within this, in the he, him, them, they conversations, just like the whole gender identity space in LGBTQ. Again, not if you agree or disagree with it, and you can give your opinion also if you agree or disagree, but in public discourse, inside the the state of where currently we are, who is winning the culture war? Is it the left? Is the right? When it comes down to LGBTQ and gender identity. Oh man, we'll start with you, then we'll go to Kofi, Johnny, and G. Talk to us, brother.
We talking about gender identity? Is that what you said? Or
yeah, like the whole all like if we try to condense it or open up the pool of everything to being LGBTQ and gender identity.
The whole gamut.
Yeah, like the T is a part of the LGBT.
I'm gonna take a Kofi talking point. I reject the premise because I don't view it as a war. Like I don't like the terminology.
So do you all right? So do you think that right now there is a discussion about on one side that some people are for them they language, and there's another side that is against them they language?
The them they language is just a bunch of BS people
What that's an opinion, that's cool, but I'm just asking, do you think that there's some people that are pushing for it, and then like making sure that you have to like properly address by pronouns and the whole little thing, and then there's a side that is against having to do that and like that and you know like that the whole little thing? Do you agree with that like there's different sides to this thing, almost distinct different sides, right?
Outside of the internet, in real life, I have never had to refer to anyone as them, they. I'm still only referring to people as he and she and her and him. So it doesn't affect me in real life. When you go through like, even if they have it on the bottom of their emails and stuff like that, it's no response. If you,
what you say, you'd be like, yo.
I mean, I think that the easiest thing is just, if you know people names, if you call them by their names, it becomes really easy. But I understand what you're saying, but I also think that this is a prominent conversation, a prominent topic, and a prominent thing that people, for better or worse, get fired for, get hired based around. Again, what's Jordan Peterson? He maybe his biggest come up was based off of this whole entire thing. Honestly, this is what blew Jordan Peterson in Canada.
Trump ran on it last.
Yeah, Trump, but like this has been like a culture war topic for at least like 10 years. That like we all, well, I can't say we all, but a lot of people have loved Jordan Peterson at certain parts. Like there's a part where he went off the edge, but Jordan Peterson had a nice little run, and his start came in him fighting back against them they language.
Yeah, so I don't see them they language as a cultural war. I see that as a mental health issue. So it's nothing for me to address. I'm never going to call somebody them, they, him, her, zebra, whatever they want me to call them. I'm going to address them as their name or he or she. Like I said, in the real world, I haven't come across any issues where I was penalized or someone talked back at me or I was brought to HR about anything. So it's just through the internet and conversation pieces that everyone talks about, and you see it in the bottom email letters. I think they're a very small minority of people that were seeing how far they can push the left to get just get stuff done. So I think with the Republican stance, it has allowed people who never really were on the left but never really was about them they thing. It allows them to be more vocal or just remain silent and address people as usual, as normal. So I don't see it as a war. I just
it sounds like you're saying the right's winning.
The right is winning it like over there.
Well, okay, if you want to say it, yeah. I don't think it's a right or a left.
I've never used the pronoun in my life.
Yeah.
I use straight adverbs.
I said them, they, that. But yeah, I don't think it's I don't see it as a war like a left. I don't see it as, if it's a war, it's going to be a war against science. It's a war against science, not necessarily right and left.
Some people do war against science. Kofi, talk to us.
Yeah, no, what old man said is absolutely right. I've been seeing some people emails like he, she, him, her. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh, really? That is a thing. Even you fill things out, you see that. I'm like, I mean, I don't know what to say when it comes to this.
Is that a notion that side is starting to win? That if even what they call quote unquote cisgender people are just putting he, him in their email tag because of that's what they've been fighting for. No pun intended. Is that not a sign of them winning, quote unquote, the proverbial culture war?
Yeah, when it comes to that far end of the left, unfortunately, yeah, because they're doing it. The right to complain about it, the rest of the left could complain about it. You know what I'm saying? But if there's someone on the left complaining about it, they're not saying you're really on the left. They call you a bigot. They call you hateful and all this other dumb shit. But it is something that they are, I don't want to say getting away with, but there's a space for them to do that. And a co-worker of mine is a network engineer. He said he used to work at this other place. And it's probably like a couple years ago. He said he was working with this guy. And let's say it's call him Tom. Working with Tom and everything is fine. Then Tom went away for like a week. Then all of a sudden we had this new hire named Tina. And I'm like, fuck, who the fuck is Tina? And he sees Tina and he's like, okay. Then before Tina comes, they bring everybody in a room and say, hey, we are a company that we embrace diversity, change, and things of that nature. And we expect everybody here to respect people's life choices. And like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? He's telling me, and all of a sudden, here's Tina. And he's like, oh, fuck, it's Tom. So he felt a little trying to ignore the wig and the makeup and all that shit. And then, again, he's worked with this guy for years. And one day he said, yo, Tom, what's up with blah, 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 blah? And all of a sudden, he's getting called into HR. He's like, what's going on? Oh, you misgendered a coworker. He's like, what the fuck about? He called Tina Tom. He's like, look, man, I understand that. I didn't mean no disrespect, but I worked with her for 3 years before she became Tina. So my bad, you know what I'm saying? So that's the bullshit that, the left is winning when it comes to that. And then most people, and we got to also understand that gender was made by France. I forgot the guy's name. It was a psychologist in the early 1900s that did an experiment, white guy, of course, that misgendered children and see how would they grow up with female and male attributes. So he'll call the male a female and female a male and treat them in that way to see if they'll grow up with different attributes. That's why gender was pronounced. So when the left says, oh no, gender and sex is different. Yeah, as of lately, because of the bullshit that person did. So don't talk about gender and sex as a real fucking thing when it's a new phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? So that's the shit that they do on the far left that I hate. But yeah, I think they're all winning.
All right. Johnny, talk to us, brother.
I'm gonna put this out there. I like my pronouns like my women. I like her, she.
I get it, Hershey.
Y'all will catch that. Y'all will catch that.
I like my pronouns like I like my women.
Her and she. Her, she.
And is that supposed to also be like, I'm about to say, is that supposed to be a chocolate flip also?
Yeah, that's a flip. Y'all will catch that one later. But
I thought you, never mind.
It's a new year.
It's
a new year. Yeah, we good.
You're not getting frostbite no more. You're not playing in the snow no more.
We good, bro. We good. We straight. We up out of there. But I will say the left is winning. I'm gonna bring it back to Charlotte for another example. We were supposed to have an all-star game. And then we didn't have an all-star game.
Okay.
They changed the law.
Wait, they did have an all-star game in Charlotte.
Yeah, Johnny's going like he throwbacking.
After they changed the law.
Cole performed and everything.
After they changed the law. We were supposed to have it in 2017. The bathrooms was fucked up.
Yeah.
They switched the bathrooms. We had it in 2019. The bathrooms in Common Market, I was confused the other day. I was in there. I didn't know which one I was supposed to go into. They winning.
But be honest.
Shit just called bathroom.
If you go to Common Market, you go in bathroom to go into. You going into the playground when you go to Common Market. Ain't nothing but IPAs and gays.
It was over there. I was going to shout out VVG. I was going to a show. I had to park over there. Had to take a piss.
And it was IPAs and gays.
Oh, for sure. That's all it was over there.
Those rings and tattoos.
That's all it was over there. I ain't know. You don't know yet. What's up?
Yeah, that's a very fluid space.
But the bathroom crazy. I don't know which one to go into.
Well, they didn't have unisex bathrooms. Either he, her.
The bathroom used to be male, female. You go in there now.
Like bathroom.
It's bathroom. Like you don't know which one.
That's not really that confusing. Yeah, it's not really that confusing.
I'm saying all I'm saying is they're still winning because like there's a precedent that's been set, it's still followed, and I think that's a sign of them winning that culture war because there's still a culture that, not that I believe in it, but I'm saying I just seen an example of it recently. I think the left is winning that culture war.
Okay.
No, I don't want to pee next to chicks with dicks, but
it's a single bathroom.
I'd rather it be unisex.
It's a single bathroom.
Okay, good. Same thing with Whole Foods. Whole Foods is like Whole Foods has some funny shit.
You don't even make no sense. What did you just say? Like, it didn't even make no sense.
He sound like a conservative.
You said.
Hey. That was the MAGA point.
Yeah.
He said he
that was definitely a MAGA point.
I'm conservative when it comes to that.
He would have voted against HB2.
But that's why I said it's not a Republican Democrat issue.
What's more gay? wanting to pee beside a man, or wanting to pee beside a chick with like why is your issue so much more with one versus the other? Like they both equally like why is, if you gotta piss, why does one matter?
Actually, I think that maybe there's an argument that a woman identifying as a man, it's more straight to want to pee by that person. There's still a vagina there.
Exactly, and she don't know the rules where if there's an empty stall between us, you go to the other side. You don't piss next to
one swallow away. You rather pee with a girl who got like the fake strap where it just like drained through, where she just like act like she's doing something at the urinal.
Lift it up.
You just want to give her shit like a shake, just off the rip, just so she can get her shit, give her shit a shake. You feel?
Hey, you know better than me, G. I don't know, but I don't know.
Like, I don't know. You're the one who thought about what you rather pee beside, not me. But look, all I'm saying is,
I'm in there.
When it comes to like,
I think most men don't really care. I think most of the issue is involved around females, and if men go into females' back,
and really protection of children.
Yeah, dudes don't care who's in the restroom. If a nigga got pissed, he gonna piss, bro.
Yeah.
Should I piss beside that was a tree.
Like, have y'all ever been to like a concert and like the stalls don't have no kind of barrier and it's just like niggas lined up against the wall taking a piss? Like that's just what it is.
Like bathrooms and stuff like that. Like,
it's like 95, bro. Like,
no, it's still like that some places.
What? That's crazy.
The trough, that's what they called it. It was
a trough. And everyone
not a trough, but like they got like the urinals don't have blockages. It's just
it's just like one long little thing. Yeah,
not just the one long, like you got the joint where it's just like a big ass tub. Like that's the old school shit. But there's a lot of spots now, like if you go to like a ballpark or arena, some shit like that, the wall will just have a bunch of urinals lined up with no separation. It just straight wall of urinal.
You gotta hit the motherfucker with that, bro. You gotta get in there and
you
gotta angle your shit, bro. You gotta.
I'm just saying. Like,
that's definitely been a thing. Yeah,
that's like regular shit. Like I'm just saying, like the bathroom thing is not an issue, but the real for real, like we talk about this Tina Time thing. My only sort of response to that is like from a name perspective. From a name perspective,
you're like, "What's up, T?"
That's it.
Hey, nickname
you were getting in trouble.
I feel like you should respect people's name changes. Like people change their names all the time. I feel like you should respect people's name changes. Now, as it relates to
you moving into liberal G right here. I like.
Like, look, if you change your name to whatever legally you change your name to, like people should honor your name. Like that's your name.
Go back to
like Cassius Clay made niggas pay for calling him Cassius, right? He's like, you gonna call me Muhammad Ali? I'm gonna whip like.
Come on, man. That's not a comparison, man.
No, I'm telling you,
it's an exact comparison.
Name and you want to, if somebody changes their name, it is very disrespectful to intentionally not call them by their name. Would you disagree?
Yes, respectfully. But if we know that you're really a man and you just threw some lipstick on a pig and you want to be called Tina instead of Tom, it's like, yeah, I gotta respect that, but it's kind of insulted my intelligence. And I wish I'm never in that particular type
just by calling a nigga a name.
You can't.
His mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
Motherfucker Clay, I'm gonna call him Clay.
It's more than
This is a very conservative. This is a very
like a next
conservative
change
point of view. This is a very conservative point of view from the liberal. I just want to point out.
it's more. It's more than just a name. It's like you can't say, "Hey, bro." You can't say, "What's up?"
No, you can. You
say
can.
a
You
lot
can.
of stuff, bro.
You can. No. See, y'all. I'm
What's
talking
up,
about
sis?
strictly the name. Let's just talk about names. Just names.
Yeah, if you call somebody their old name, I think that is outside of pronouns. But if I say my name is no longer that,
yeah,
and you still choose to call me that,
that's disrespectful. That's all
Now,
I'm saying.
would you
That's all
report
I'm
me
saying.
to AR
That's all
for
I'm saying.
misnaming you?
For misnaming me?
Yeah.
What
Like once
name
you,
would-
like
what name-
once you you change your name to I don't know, whatever you want to change your name to.
Oh, well, like if I say call me Johnny and don't call me Jonathan, and
Yeah.
keep on calling me Jonathan, I might not like go to HR, but I'm like, hey,
I
bro,
actually had a situation where
my
not
name
me
ain't
personally,
Jonathan,
but
Big Dog.
I knew somebody who
It's Johnny.
I had a situation where I had somebody on my team come to me because the dude he might have called the dude Tommy and his name was Thomas and he really went to HR because somebody called him Tommy. Like
That's some bullshit.
Yeah,
like it's
that's
crazy.
off to me.
Hey, don't call that man Tommy though. I feel that though.
Continually
His name is
calling him Tommy.
Thomas.
After he said, "Stop calling me Tommy."
He never said necessarily stop. You know, it just you know
you
some
gotta
people,
stand
some
up
people
for
just
yourself
shorten
first.
up names
Yeah.
off rip. Like Johnny, somebody might just say, "Hey John," you know what I'm saying? Like you might get offended, but like, are you gonna go to HR because the nigga really called you John versus Johnny?
I'm gonna tell that nigga, hey, don't call me John. My name Johnny.
But
and then
G,
it's
that's
on
a little
him.
bit different.
Then
That's a
it's
little
on
bit
him. If you choose to call me John after that, you being disrespectful.
So that's what I'm saying. We should at least respect names, but I will say like me, it's one thing to have your personal beliefs, like which I agree. Like you know, I have my beliefs as it relates to certain things, but I don't need to. What's the word I'm looking for? Like I don't believe, but I can call you by the name you want to be called. I guess is what I'm saying here. It's like I don't have to believe.
It doesn't hurt you to call them by the.
I'm like, oh, your name's Tina now. All right, Tina. Like,
yeah, but at the same
that's
time,
just that.
you're kind of.
I don't have to believe in what your lifestyle for me to just acknowledge you got a new name and
to be respectful.
Yeah, but at the same time,
I
you're
agree.
respectful, but you do by you calling that, you know, you're kind of indirectly agreeing.
No,
with,
I'm not.
It's
I'm
called
not agreeing with
respect, Kofi.
anything.
Hey,
It's not-
Kofi, you out here
Kofi,
calling
it's not
Tina
for me
Tom?
to agree with. It's not my life.
Man, I'm gonna call Tina by her last name, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's what
Like,
I was gonna say. The last name. Yeah.
I'll call you by your last name. If her name is Johnson, okay, Johnson. You got
What
it.
if she changed her last name
Hey,
to
Mills.
X or Ali?
No. What if she change it to like LaSalle or something like something feminine also?
Tina
LaSalle.
Yeah, Tina LaSalle.
I don't know.
Hey,
I just hope
used
I'm
to be
not.
Hey, LaSalle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to be in that situation, man. But I
Well,
know
say-
in this day and age, I'm gonna have to be forced to
Hey,
call her.
Kofi.
call him Tina.
Hey, Kofi. If I went from Christian to Muslim and I changed my name from Jonathan Newton to
Jonathan
Malcolm or to Shabazz X, and I say that's my religious belief, you still gonna call me Jonathan?
No.
A lot of your family will. I know.
Yeah, your family will. That's for sure.
A lot of your family gonna keep calling
Family
you.
don't care about that. Yeah.
I ain't talking about family because can they get a pass?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but a stranger, like so if I tell you, look, I don't know you. My mama named me that. She can call me that. I just met you. Don't call me that. Call me this. You still gonna call me the other thing? No matter what. No matter what reason.
I'm gonna call you what you want me to call you.
That's respect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do
I'm not saying
to-
I'm right for calling Tom Tina or whatever. I'm just saying I'm uncomfortable with it, and if
But
that
you gotta
happens,
respect
I
that
have
person,
no choice
though.
but to call Tina, Tom Tina.
Why is the respect one way?
No, you know that's what I'm saying. I do think
That's
we've
true,
gone
too,
too
old
far.
man.
I
That's
do
true,
think we've
too.
gone too far in terms of like if I see somebody and they look masculine and I'll be like, sir, or if I see somebody they look feminine, I'll be like, ma'am, and then you not really don't identify with that, but like you present like I see that.
Well, I get that because if
Like-
you got a
like
beard
conventionally-
and I call you sir, you shouldn't be mad because you got
Yeah,
a beard.
exactly right. Or if you're clearly
You
of
got a beard,
a
ma'am.
female body
got a
type,
fucking
and
beard.
the niggas are old school and they say miss or ma'am, and you get in your feelings because you got called a like, you know, I think that's where it's gone too far. It's like we should
studs being mad.
Yeah, it's whether it's the stud or even, you know, the other side. What do you call the guy versions of studs that's like feminine? What do you call them?
A drag queen.
Bitches. I don't know.
Metrosexual.
I don't think it's metrosexual.
Dude, listen to this liberal. Listen to this liberal talk to his peers.
No. I'm with you guys when it comes to this.
Listen to this liberal.
Stay over there, Kofi.
This closeted liberal.
Stay over there, Kofi.
But no, all right, just to make sure that what will be, I'm gonna try and get as close to proper because y'all just went inflammatory.
The liberals.
What would be a virgin? I guess is it just a trans woman? I guess I don't know. I'm not familiar with these.
A trans woman is a man.
I think not Steve said the word last week. Is it?
He said femboys.
Femboy, that's what it is. Yeah, femboy. Maybe that's what it is. We'll just use that for now.
Yeah, you know, like at the end of the day, if I see you as a quote unquote male or a man, and I'd be like, bro, and you don't identify as bro, you can say whatever, but like, let's not get upset. That's the only thing. He, they, she, like all those nuances, I feel like are unnecessary. Like it's like, come on, like you can't project like I said, your name is one thing, but you can't project your societal standards on everybody. It's like at the end of the day, certain things have existed. So like if you feel like it's shifting or want to be different, that's cool, but you can't like get mad because everybody's not moving on the same wave as you. Like,
Hey, hold on. I want to add this. I just want to add.
I'm gonna throw it to you. How much of this is like pretend land stuff also? Because I don't personally, I can't think of the last time I had to call Johnny a he or a him.
It don't exist for like regular.
It's not really like the way anybody has dialogue either.
But see, that's my point. Like, hey, hold on, that's my point though. Like I'm saying, so like if like I think everybody deserves a fucker. Like so I'm at the gas station,
and bruh is gender neutral.
But he got a beard and nails and a push-up bra, and I accidentally say.
Saucy Santana.
Yes, sir. I get that first one. Cause like you got the beard. Like I get the first one.
Because you're being respectful. Why you say sir to him? Was he older than you?
Cause that's how my parents raised me. I say sir, ma'am, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir.
I thought you was hitting on him, Johnny.
That's just how. Was
he your age or was he older?
That's just how I was raised, bro. And it don't even matter.
Do you say sir to your peers? You ain't never said sir to me.
I say boss. I do say sir. Like especially if
you ain't saying no.
If a motherfucker look 52, I'll be like, yes, sir, or whatever.
So he look older than you. He look
a lot older than me. Like the beard had gray.
Oh, okay.
Like nigga, you ain't that damn young, nigga. God
damn.
Like
let me think. I'm like let me feel that. Like let me like whatever illusion I want to have. Let me have that. I'm letting nobody have an illusion. Let me have mine. I'm still 25. Like whatever. But
okay, so you respected him because
Johnny one of them good hair niggas, man. He like my shit black, my shit shiny, nigga. Wavy.
I got a couple grays in there. But my thing is though, I get the first fuck up. But like if you come to me and be like, hey, this is what I prefer. This is what the thing like respectfully, like as long as like if I receive you next time, I'm not gonna go out my way to disrespect you if you told me this is how you feel respected. Now, what I personally feel about it is something that's totally different. But if somebody be like, hey, now if I know it's a pronoun thing, I'm probably just not gonna refer to you as either one of them.
Let me
Big
ask you
dog,
this.
Boss. But like I'm not gonna go out my way if somebody done said, hey, this is how I want to be referred to. I'm not gonna go out my way to disrespect them just off of because I feel like I'm gonna be respectful just because that's how I was raised. I ain't gotta personally agree with none of your shit. But like why cause a conflict unnecessarily?
And I agree with Johnny. As the only liberal here or whatever. At the end of the day,
you showed your true colors today, Kobe.
I'm
more liberal than you tonight.
You are not a progressive.
For real.
You are not a progressive.
Johnny actually, you are what Johnny might be the most liberal, to be honest. He's like pro cancel culture, the whole thing.
Tonight, I'm on my liberal shit, bro.
I don't know if you really got too many conservative points for it.
I mean,
I do, but
at the end of the day, I agree with Johnny. It's all about a matter of respect, especially if you with someone, you have to work with the person, you have some sort of relationship with the person, and they say, look, this is what I want you to refer me as. It's about just respect. It's not agreeing with their name. It's not agreeing how they say their name. At the end of the day, it's about respect. And I think if we just all respect each other, a lot of problems we would avoid. But I agree with Johnny.
Hey, you welcome, Kofi. That boy for the
Human decency.
Pretty much. Human decency.
Human decency.
I think
anybody any less because of what they like to do in their private lives. Like,
I shouldn't know what you like to do in your private life.
This is the problem. You're bringing your private life. Yeah, they're bringing your private life.
Let old man hop in here real quick. I
That's
think
the problem. You bringing stuff that happens in your bedroom to like the company. It shouldn't even be.
I agree. Doesn't even need to be a conversation.
It shouldn't be a conversation. And the problem is, again, if we're going to be 100% accurate, if Tom is now Tina and they want to be referred to as her, wouldn't it be, isn't that inaccurate? Shouldn't that be a trans her or a trans him or trans? You get what I'm saying? Because like, if you're going to be 100% who you are a trans her. You're not a her. You're not a him. If I
You're a bigoted bastard. Trans women are women.
Yeah. There you go. That's the liberal shit I'm used to hearing. Yeah, exactly. Hey, did y'all see the clip where Mark Lamont Hill was talking to Candace Owens about?
I remember seeing the debate before.
Women can have babies, or if it was so.
She packed them up. This was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
I remember the debate.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Ketanji Brown Jackson when she was being confirmed. Then they asked her what's a woman, and she couldn't fucking answer it.
It's a trap door for
political suicide on the left if you were to sound like us. So
yeah,
I just got to say words matter. And if I'd say, Johnny, hey, you need to go to this club, there's a lot of women with dresses on. But if I say, hey, Johnny, there's a lot of men with dresses on, are you going to go to the club? No.
All I know is I've never taken no recommendations from old man.
A dress, a bra, titties, fake hair does not make you a woman, and vice versa. So like, we have to be able and have the freedom to describe someone as they are. I don't care if they want to believe that there's something that they're not, but outside of the workplace or an institution like an education system where they mandate that you have to do this stuff. And I think that brings it back to your initial point with the professor that became famous on this topic because he because he was in that system, and that's why, and he got tired of it.
But
remember, this is Canada though. He's Canadian.
But would y'all agree though that like, wow, so like, okay, what you're saying, I think we agree on. But like that said, these individuals shouldn't be then open up to ridicule for showing up how they want to show up. Would you agree with that as well? Like they in theory should have the freedom to not be disrespected because they identify a certain way.
True, I agree with that.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't be disrespected. So
yeah,
that's
the bigger point.
What's the disrespect?
Hey, I'm gonna bring it back right for a little second though, because like I think I think like if say like I like big girls, right? And that's my thing. That's what I do behind closed doors. I like
behind closed doors.
Yeah, you fitting all the stereotypes. Don't let it be a big white woman.
And why are you presenting this as a hypothetical thing?
Behind closed doors, yeah.
Say you like big girls. Say I like big girls.
Hey, you can look at my joint. But before you get into it, whatever I do behind closed doors is my business. Like you should be up here. You should be up here.
Niggas should be policing
because I like big girls. Like you shouldn't talk shit to me.
You said you like big girls too.
If that's what I like, but what I'm also gonna say, if that's what I like,
don't shame me for my taste.
I shouldn't go around y'all and be like, man, I ain't going to that party. Ain't no big joints there. Like I should.
That's your preference, brother.
But like I also gotta like
that. What you mean by?
Because my preference shouldn't. My preference.
No biggies around.
My preference shouldn't also affect the greater community though. If that's what I like, that's what I like. I ain't gotta like put that on everybody else and be like,
all right, but you also
but if what you like is presented to us and you like, look at my girl, she look cute, huh? Don't expect her to say yes. That's what we saying, man. You present her however you want to present her, but that doesn't mean we're gonna accept her as you see her.
Nah, but I
Or
like
him.
big girls though. Like it ain't. Like,
I mean, it's not like
big
y'all policing
I like
niggas'
big
dicks.
girls though. Like I know she big.
A
Like,
nigga
I
like
ain't
what he
saying, I ain't
like.
expecting you to say.
Who cares
Yeah,
if you don't like it?
If a nigga
Not for
actually
you.
stops liking his girl because
of what somebody else said,
then that's a whole other conversation.
Like, I know she big dog, but it's what I like. Like,
Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with liking big girls.
Niggas gotta like what they like and own it. Like you should never let you should never let somebody else like tell you how to like what you like.
But what I do, what I do behind closed doors, it shouldn't matter out here in the real world. Like, if I want to go talk to a skinny girl, y'all shut up.
Talk to one. If you like skinny girls, talk to them. If you like big,
A skinny girl can't do anything. I'm 6'4" and almost 300 pounds. I'm gonna break her. What the fuck?
Kofi like big girls.
I'm 6'4".
Yeah.
One of my all the girls I used to get is like
SBB.
4'11".
Oh, the SS is wild.
I'm like,
you get the SS on it. You a wild
boring.
boy.
That shit gets boring. It gets boring picking bitches up and flipping them. It gets boring after a while, man. Like that's just me.
SS is insane.
Yeah, SS is insane.
Well, just to end it, the whole requiring someone to call you something is sketchy, because I could go into my job tomorrow and say I want everybody to call me sexual chocolate. Should they have to?
Did you legally change?
Did you get it legally?
They don't have to legally anymore.
No, but I'm asking if you got your name legally changed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call you SC.
I would never call you fucking sexual chocolate.
I'm gonna call you SC.
Hey, let's be clear, nigga.
Grown ass man, dog.
You can get your fucking driver's license changed and take a picture of a Hershey bar, nigga. I'll be like, hey, yo.
SC, big
My
dog.
name is Delicious. My name is Delicious, dog. What's up?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. It's just ridiculous what's going on, but whatever, we have to deal with it.
All right, fellas. We didn't hit the 3-hour mark. We didn't get through all of the culture war moments, but as I probably could have predicted, we got stuck on one of the more controversial ones. This gender conversation, this identity conversation. But maybe actually a couple of these cultural war conversations can build themselves into full episodes. Again, we didn't really get into our religious part to this. I'm sure Kofi would have loved that part. Kofi the Heathen, I think it says over there.
He doing the Rick Ross.
We didn't.
Birdman.
Kofi the conservative.
Yeah. Kurt Kofi. Some might call him
being conservative.
After we've heard his LGBTQ gender identity views, some might call him Kofi the conservative.
Look. Let me clear something up for y'all dragging my name through the mud. I have no problem with gay people. I'm pretty sure you could say, and I can say, like there's gay people in my family.
Right. He is doing thugger right now.
Yeah.
I work with him every day.
I got black friends. Yeah. I work with them every day.
Hey.
I got no problem with gay people. I work with gay people every day.
Hey, can I say something before you close it out?
Go ahead.
From what you said earlier, this is why I think it is value that you treat people who call in and interact with you and don't require them to show their face, because I believe that you're getting more truth from people who are able to hide their identity. Because the minute you put them on camera, they start.
You also get more cap.
Yeah, but even with the cap, it's more obvious, and you get more truth out of the cap. You get what I'm saying?
I understand the appeal. I understand the appeal of what you're saying. For sure.
It's just like if when we didn't have the internet and you just said it was just radio jocks. You never saw the
call-ins. I can agree.
Right? You never saw the callers that called in, but
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. But oh man, if you had your own YouTube page and you had mad content where you was doing mad talking and you never showed your face at any point,
that does matter.
You're suspect.
If it's long
form,
but
then you got again. Like I said,
if it's
you got
long
people
form,
like
you got to show your
Jason
face.
Black and the people they never show their face.
Like even
people don't care to show their face.
Radio
a white boy
show their face every once in a while. Like you knew what
they never show their face.
You knew what Time Joyner looked like. You knew what Howard Stern looked like. You know what these radio people look like at the end of the day.
So that gets into terminology. So if we're talking about podcasts, a podcast is just audio with a video visual art, right? Just like a still image. If someone is using other people's content and other people's images and all that stuff, 100% they got to show their face. But if it's just like a steal of podcasting and talking about this topic, it should not be a requirement because that.
Okay, I can rock with that.
That's a great. That's a great definition.
You just literally audio. Period. Just
Yeah,
audio.
you just
That's a
audio,
great
and the
one.
only reason you have an image is because that's the only way you can post your audio.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
But if you got video, you using like saying using clips from this podcast,
AI clips and stuff
using
like that.
Yeah, you got to show your face.
Reveal yourself.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's a great. Yeah,
I can agree with that. If you a true traditional podcast, audio only format, then yeah, you could be completely like anonymous and just produce your content. You like an AM radio show. You ain't gotta show your face. I can agree with that.
Wait. So even if you're saying inflammatory things about people, let's say you claim to be something. They say, "Hey, I'm a straight, tall, light-skinned male." How will we know that? And you having these conversations about colorism, and you're saying you're black. No one knows what shade of black you are.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So it depends what the content is.
Probably, but see, me, I wouldn't listen.
But you actually you.
If you talk about being light skinned, I'm tuning out.
We never
anyway,
did know.
so.
Like
for example,
like in LA when we had a 92.3 The Beat. Theo was the biggest jock on all black radio station, and he was Asian. Nobody ever knew until he showed up to an event, like a promotion event or.
But it mattered as soon as everybody.
At least he showed up.
But
as soon as everybody seen it,
but he didn't show up until he was already
Chinese
popular, and at that point it didn't matter. Just like when you got performers who sang all these great Black American songs, and then people later found out that this dude was white. So there's different types of media that don't require you to show their face. Just like if you're a writer or a columnist, you're not showing your face. It's just about your words. If you're
columnists have their
show their face.
They do now, but I'm talking
that's
about
part of being a columnist. Is
they do now
if you got a column.
Yeah, because media has changed. But if we talk about traditional media, it was never like that.
Yeah, I think depending on like the type of content,
the medium matters.
Not even just the medium, but the type of content. Like if you are playing in the political sphere that based around specific identities, I do think that your appearance does then matter, or like who you are. So like I don't think that you can be completely anonymous and like we'll just say something that's close to us, like be a FBA advocate that's like going staunchly because of so much of the identity of FBA, even like how FBA like drags on other like groups. Some of it is like appearance based, some of it is phenotypical, some of it is like a lot of these different things where if it's based around like a race and there's no identifier of race, who knows if this is AI voiced? Who knows if this is like somebody that can put on a really, really good black voice, like old man said Theo did inside LA. I think that thing, whether it's somebody knows who you are or like there's a way that you can check and verify this person. Not that you have to be up there talking every single time with your face, whatever, any of those things. But I do think that the identity of a person would matter if you play the identity game.
Yeah, and there's some YouTube channels that the guys just strictly off camera, but eventually when they get big, they do a face reveal and then they go back to off camera. At least you could do that.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I agree. You talking about people's ethnicity, religion, and you got to show your face. You can't. Yeah, there's no way around that.
All right. Well, yeah. Nonetheless, we rehashed what old man brought up. Sound like we came to some fair common consensus. With that said, this has been a really good episode of Unpacked. We didn't have some laughs, some arguments, some debates. So old man told us that we normalizing too much. But again, we'll be back here next week, 9:30. Wednesdays. Shout out to the panel we had, G the King, formerly known as the G-ish podcast. Now
still exists, though. We still there.
Do not misname him on YouTube.
Yeah, so upgrade your graphic.
Is media. Yeah, damn. I guess I gotta do that now. God damn. See, that's more work for me.
No,
But,
the podcast still exists though. Let's be clear. GSH Pod still exists. It just falls under the G Axis Media umbrella.
Okay.
So it's all gravy. It's all gravy.
I ain't got to go in the Photoshop. All right, cool. We have Johnny P. He came out with a strong monologue for peace, and then he said he wanted to go eye for eye.
Yeah, what was that about? What was that about, Johnny? Did somebody do something to you? They threatened you? What happened?
That's why I started with the peaceful shit.
Yeah, but why?
Somebody threatened you?
Yeah.
No, I just
something happened, bro.
I'm feeling froggy tonight, bro. I'm feeling froggy.
All right. Nonetheless, we said turn them cameras on, and I got Kofi called in with that camera on. He has a lot of prominent figures behind him. I'll let y'all identify what y'all believe their purpose behind him is. But with that said, we have old man Cali's finest, one of our constant contributors. We appreciate the voice. We appreciate the POV. I am Q, the host. Catch me on Sunday at 4. No, damn, we didn't change the time. At 6 o'clock at the To Be Fair show. We'll be here 9:30 next Wednesday. The Unpacked podcast with To Be Fair show and the G-ish podcast future named G Axis Media. This has been a great episode. We appreciate it. Peace.